season, of course, with Arsenal looking to go 6 points clear once more at the top of the table. But Brentford have Europe in their sights as well, currently 7th in the table, and both teams now out and warming up as well. We'll have plenty of build up to this one, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff, and it's time for us to bring you an odds update with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Good evening to Alex Apati. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you. I embarrassed myself a little with some tips last night, but we'll crack on. We won't talk about them.
OK, all right, we'll gloss over that. Let's hope you don't embarrass yourself this evening then with this London derby between Brentford and Arsenal.
Yeah, look, I thought Fulham would nick something last night, and I think Arsenal will win tonight, so Natalie, make of that what you will, I guess. Arsenal are 4-6 favourites. They have drifted a little. They were a bit shorter this afternoon. The price is probably about right and probably respectful to a solid Brentford side. Brentford around the 4-1 mark. The draw is 11-4. Bit of pressure on Arsenal now after City's win last night, and they'll want to keep that gap at 6 points, I'm sure. Arsenal have also won their last 4 away at Brentford in all competitions, but only Villa, City and Arsenal have won more games than Brentford this season, and they've only lost at home twice this season, so a big task ahead of Mikel Arteta's side. Both teams to score is 4-5 tonight. Brentford have Igor Thiago, second top scorer in the division. I think he scored as many as Victor Gyökeres, Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard combined. Thiago is 5-1 to score first. Gyökeres is 9-2, and it's just over 7-1 for both of those to score, which I don't think is a bad bet on what could be a pretty nervy night for the Gunners.
Certainly so. I'm sure many Arsenal fans will be nervous about this one, but they'll also be thinking this could be an incredible season. Bear in mind, they're on the hunt for a quadruple. So have you got any odds on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I was thinking earlier, I wondered if you're an Arsenal fan and Arsenal just won the Premier League and nothing else right now, given where they are in every other competition, would that be a good season? Would you be disappointed? I don't know, one for you to discuss. But Arsenal 1-4 to win the Premier League they are. They're 7-2 to win the FA Cup. That's the same price as Man City, and Arsenal do edge it in the Carabao Cup betting as well. Arsenal 8-11 favourites, City evens. That is the psychological edge for whoever wins that competition next month, you think. They're 7-2 favourites to win the Champions League, so on paper they should win everything. I think they're favourites to win everything. Couple of trophy specials. Arsenal to win the quadruple, 40-1 now, and to win the big double, I guess, Premier League and Champions League, 11-2. The one bet that maybe all Spurs fans would want, Arsenal not to win a trophy this season, is 13-2. And then the one Arsenal fans would all want, Arsenal to win the league and Spurs to go down, that's 13-2 also.
And quickly, we've got the FA Cup, of course, coming this weekend. I wonder who is going to be the Macclesfield of the fourth round. Will it be Macclesfield?
It doesn't look like it'll be Macclesfield. Macclesfield are 9-1, so stranger things have already happened, probably. Look, the biggest upset of the weekend would be Salford. They're 40-1 to beat Manchester City. Wigan are 25-1 to beat Arsenal. Those two combined, Salford and Wigan, the double is just over 1,000-1. A couple more maybe likely upsets, if you like. I think Wrexham 12-5 are a good price to beat Ipswich. Not the biggest of upsets, but a good price for a home side there. A couple people might fancy Hull, Liam Rosenior's former club, to beat Chelsea at 15-2. And then I keep my eye on these couple. Birmingham 2-1 to beat Leeds, and Stoke 100-30 to beat Fulham. Both are at home, both are outsiders, both will fancy their chances. That Blues-Stoke double is just over 12-1.
Brilliant. Alex, as always, thank you very much. And don't forget, TalkSport, of course, will have you covered throughout this FA Cup weekend. But that was a look at the latest odds with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over. Be gambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
OK, after the break, we're going to discuss the importance of re-extending the gap at the top of the table for the league leaders, Arsenal. You're listening to Kickoff Live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over. Gambleaware.org.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Discover the world of Dobble back in McDonald's Happy Meal. Race through the worlds of music, sports, space and more. How quickly can your little one spot the match? Dobble's bursting with fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 5th of March 2026, from 11am. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Double range comprises toys only, while stocks last.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Hey, Mo? Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Huh? Turn right at the floordrome. You've reached chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage, and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it. To keep up with every kick, just head to thesun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Kickoff live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Talk Sport with Bostik. If you're looking for a professional grade sealant that offers technologically advanced performance, choose Bostik Pro Sealants.
Good evening, I'm Max Scott, and before that huge game between Brentford and Arsenal at the G-Tech, live and exclusive on TalkSport, here are some of your sporting headlines. Thomas Tuchel's told TalkSport Harry Maguire, Kobbie Mainoo and Luke Shaw are in the picture for World Cup selection. He's been speaking to us at the UEFA Nations League draw where England will face Spain, Croatia and Czech Republic. On the same day he extended his contract till Euro 2028. He also claimed Real Madrid are being a bit defensive about when they think Jude Bellingham will be fit enough to return from injury. Elsewhere, Raheem Sterling has signed for Robin van Persie's Feyenoord until the end of the season. Scotland manager Steve Clarke seems to have ruled out Harvey Barnes playing for Scotland. He says the Newcastle winger is going to concentrate on playing for England, and we understand Vitor Pereira has agreed to become Nottingham Forest's 4th manager of the season. They'll be the first club ever in Premier League history to have 4 managers in one campaign.
Hi, Jeff Stelling here with news of another supercharged weekend of live FA Cup football on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. It all gets underway tomorrow night from 7:45 as Hull take on Chelsea live on TalkSport.
And he fires it in!
Then Saturday afternoon, the frenetic football continues with a day rammed full of FA Cup clashes.
What a goal!
From 12:15, Burton take on West Ham on TalkSport. At 3, it's Manchester City against Salford on TalkSport 2. Then at 5:45, 5. Villa face Newcastle on TalkSport.
And it's in!
It's a full-power weekend of FA Cup football, live and exclusive on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
This is Kickoff. Tonight we are in West London at the G-Tech Community Stadium, where Brentford are taking on Arsenal to round up the midweek fixtures that we have had in the Premier League. Both teams still out warming up. Both teams have had their huddles as well as they gear up for a game that's mightily important for both, with Arsenal looking to go 6 points clear at the top of the table. And as for Brentford, a team many tipped to go down, staring at possibly Europe for next season. Let's bring you a reminder of the teams then for this commentary game, and say once more good evening to your commentator, Sam Matterface.
Well, it's just the one change from the Newcastle win at the weekend for Brentford. Yarmulke comes in for Henderson, so it's Kelleher in goal. Coyote, Ayer, Vandenberg and Henry the back four. Yarmulke, Jan Alt and Jensen in the middle of the park, with Ouattara and Lewis Potter on the flanks, and Thiago, the second top scorer in the Premier League, leading the line. A few more changes for Arsenal, who don't have the ability to call on William Saliba or Kai Havertz. William Saliba feeling ill this morning, so not included. Mosquera takes his place, and there's no place for Kai Havertz, who's picked up a muscular injury and will be out for a little while. Eze starts in his stead. So it's Raya in goal, Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel and Nkapie. Then it's Zubimendi, who holds in midfield. Madueke from the right side, Trossard from the left will attack to try and help supply Gyökeres, who leads the line with the bullets that he requires. Rice and Eze playing just behind him.
Sam, thank you very much. That's the team news then. Let's look ahead to tonight's action with Ladbrokes.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
And with us here at the G-Tech Community Stadium, it is Stuart Pearce as well. So, Stuart, you're avidly watching the warm-up of Arsenal, I can see.
Yeah.
Anything you note?
No, I'm just watching Gabriel Ence. Just watching. I knew enough his face. I couldn't put a name to him. And just watching him, the intensity that he's warming up, the back four, firstly, and the two centre halves, you know. The intensity of the coaching staff, and him in particular, empowering these players. He was the one giving the team talk in the huddle.
Right.
I just noticed that one of the coaches, not the players, one of the coaches, and just I just admired the intensity of it.
He obviously, we know him from his time as a Manchester United player and as a Real Madrid player, but he was brought into the coaching staff by Mikel Arteta to give that little bit of extra fight, that little bit of intensity that he brings. I mean, he really is like a fiery character, as maybe you may have noticed if you were in the tunnel when they played Aston Villa a few weeks ago.
I mean, you can see him. He's quite passionate out there, isn't he, with what he is doing, certainly. Just reflecting on the team news once more then, and let's talk about Victor Gyökeres if we can, Stuart, because he scored 6 in his last 8 appearances in all competitions for Arsenal. Are we now starting to see the best of him, do you think, based off that?
I tell you what I find quite incredible, that we're surprised that certain players take a time to settle in to playing for new clubs. I really am, you know, and listen, it's just took him a little while to bed in. He's been fortunate that he's working for a great club that can drop him to the bench, ease him in and whatever. And I always go, the yardstick for me is, if it took Thierry Henry a little while to settle at Arsenal, there's hope for everybody, and we need to give more tolerance to players to settle in and give them a bit more slack.
I don't know what you think about this, but I wonder. Listen, scoring against promoted sides does not take away the significance of his contribution, but 6 of his 8 league goals this season have come against those teams that were promoted.
Before I answer your question, the way your demeanour was just then, you were like my accountant. Look at you with your gloves with the fingers cut off, and you really were, honestly.
You mean Ebenezer Scrooge-like?
That's very Scrooge. That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
Crikey. But if your accountant's Scrooge, what does that make you?
Scrooge-esque. Right, back to your question. Listen, it doesn't matter where your goals come from. Once you get into a decent vein of scoring, all well and good, you know. And listen, I'm pleased that he's scoring, and it also gives Arteta another very, very good option to get those goals. We're looking at Arsenal and thinking they've got where they are at the moment without a centre-forward, seems to be the narrative. My goodness, once they get a centre-forward scoring 20-odd goals a season, wow.
Well, and again, it's probably worth reiterating, he is their top scorer, Natalie, with 13 goals this season, Gyökeres. And if he ends up scoring 20, which we're in February, it's likely, and they win the title, I don't think there'll be too many complaints.
And at the end of the day, whoever you score against, that's who you score against. It's like people that are dismissing 7 of Igor Thiago's 17 goals because they're penalties.
Yeah.
Does that really matter? They're all goals at the end of the day.
Exactly that. You know, all the good goal scorers take the penalties. That's the bottom line for their stats. There's no doubt about that. You've still got to score them. And he still looks like an accountant. I can't get the vision out of my
it's
mind.
It's those gloves. I know what you're saying.
It is the gloves.
Yeah.
Accountants don't wear fingerless gloves, do they?
You're just a bean counter. Look at you.
Crikey. Should we move off the subject of accountants?
You know what this is? Because I didn't get the green coat memo.
That's what it is. The memo didn't go out. In terms of Arsenal, how impressed have you been with their reaction since that defeat to Manchester United?
I look at Arsenal's form as an entirety over a season. They've been the most consistent team in the division, bar none, in my opinion. When they've lost games, they've lost them to teams that have played particularly well, I think. The game against Villa could have gone either way at Villa Park. It was a brilliant game and a brilliant spectacle of the Premier League. We covered it and I walked out, and I've been around football a long time, with a real smile on my face because of the intensity of 2 teams, 2 managers, 2 sets of substitutes. And if you're going to lose games on the odd occasion, lose to teams that have played extremely well against you. And you take that on the chin and move on. And I'll tell you where I was really impressed with Arteta's interview after that game, where he turned round and he gave credit to the opposition beating him. I think it was that game or the Villa game. Whichever it was, I thought credit to you for doing so, because I didn't think he had it in him. But he certainly did that day, and I thought credit to you.
Bear in mind that Manchester City, of course, won yesterday, reduced that gap to 3 points. How much does that now put pressure on Arsenal? Bear in mind, it's always, as we talk about coming towards the business end of a season, that Manchester City always know how to get the job done, and Arsenal haven't yet been able to do that.
I still don't think Manchester City have proved to me this year they've got that level of consistency in their performance to go 12 wins in a row, and they might have to do that to knock Arsenal over. You know, Arsenal have done, in my opinion, nothing wrong so far this season. I think there's a narrative, and we all want to see a title chase, don't we? 2 teams going head to head, and I think the narrative is, you know, they're breathing down Arsenal's neck, that type of thing. I get the impression this Arsenal squad are good enough to get any game over the line.
The accountant wants to come in.
Well, I think that if you had said to me that before the last couple of weeks, I would completely agree with you. And I think the way Arsenal have done it, they've plotted their way through the season strategically, without sort of like really sort of blowing anybody away. They're just like, you're going about their job. Accountant-like, maybe. Last night, the week before, I think it makes such a difference having Mark Gay and Ruben Diaz at the heart of the defence for Manchester City. They look like a different team. You know, you've got that solidity that they didn't have before. There was a vulnerability there. They've had so many injuries there. They were throwing points away. They weren't defending very well. But last night I looked at them and I just thought, that is the kind of performance that you just think, And then I looked at their fixtures between now and the end of the season. They haven't got many hard ones away from the Etihad Stadium. So, look, you never know. I still think Arsenal are massive favourites, and I want them to do it because I want Mikel to I want Mikel to do it because I think it means you've shown trust in a manager and it's worked. Do you know what I mean? For the process, I think that's great. But
we bemoaned the movements of the Tottenham manager and the Forest manager earlier in the show, and it was only last season where certain quarters of the Arsenal supporters wanted Arteta out the door because he hadn't won anything, and maybe even in the media as well.
Let's move on to Arsenal's opponents, shall we, tonight. Yesterday I had the pleasure of sitting down with the Brentford head coach, Keith Andrews, at the club's training ground, and asked him if he's spoken to his old boss, Thomas Frank, after the news that he was relieved of his duties by Spurs.
No, I haven't spoken to him yet. I actually found out as I was just about to present the meeting to the players on our game plan. And we've been pretty busy, obviously, with meeting, training and coming to do the press conference and this interview. So no, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I'm really sad, really, was what I was feeling. And I said that to the players. The industry that we work in obviously is very unforgiving at times. But he's someone that, as a friend, he was part of the reason why I came to Brentford. Really wanted to come to this football club, and I loved working with him. I really enjoyed working with him last season. Learned a lot. I've been in touch pretty frequently, so I'm sure I'll catch up with him pretty soon.
So what would you say you've learned from when you first took on the role in the summer to where you are now?
Lots. Your day goes pretty quickly unless it's really well organised. Even when it is really well organised, which I think I am pretty well organised, it still can go. You really need to prioritise what you want to get out of a day, how you work, how you communicate with players and staff is key, and how you keep that up with the players. Maybe they're a little bit more disappointed, naturally, ones that aren't playing as much. But you're constantly evolving what you do, how you do it, how the team looks, your training habits, how you communicate with the players again is in team meetings, and how we get the best out of the players. So, and then we bring the staff together, because it was a completely new staff as well, so the dynamics of that. So much has changed and evolved as the season's gone on, but I think it's now in a pretty good place.
And I know you keep saying one game at a time, but come on, as Brentford fans as I am, we're looking at Europe. So surely it has to be on your mind.
It's probably in the back of my mind. It's definitely not at the forefront of my mind. It's keeping striving and keeping pushing. And I think if we do, and we can keep the consistency of what we've brought over the last couple of months, maybe of the level of teams that we've played, how we're evolving, how we've played, the confidence within the players, the individual development of the players within the team structure, I think is a big part of that. And the belief, the confidence of where we're at is clearly, again, in a good place. So if we can maintain that, if we can continue on this trajectory, then we have to keep striving. That will only bring you in one direction. But for fans, which we've obviously got a few that work in the club, you have to dream, you have to... This is what it's about. It's about fans and players, and that's ultimately what it's always been about. So fans have to get excited.
It was great to have that chat with Keith Andrews yesterday. Stuart, I'll come to you, because you said earlier on, obviously, you've been really impressed with him, and that he would be your manager of the year if it was to be voted on, say, today. But what is it exactly that has impressed you by what he's done so far?
What has it come across in that really good interview that you've done with him?
Thank you.
The levelness. He was so level.
Absolutely, that's how it comes across.
He's not got blown away, he's not got too excited being a Premier League manager now. He's not got too downcast either, even though things have probably gone in an upward trajectory the vast majority of the time this year. He's brought the likes of Henderson in, that is an old head on the pitch, and I'm sure he leans on him a great deal, in respect on and off the pitch. But just his calmness within. And the thing that really wows you is the results that his team have pulled this year. Incredible.
And what about Igor Thiago? We talked about Victor Gyökeres, the importance to Arsenal. I mean, how excited are you to see someone like an Igor Thiago, and the possibility that, and I did ask him about Carlo Ancelotti and should he be in Brazil's squad for the World Cup, and Keith did say it's far, he's not the one to tell Carlo Ancelotti what to do, but he did say that he should be on his radar at the very least.
Well, anyone who scores that amount of goals in the Premier League has got to be on any of their national teams' radar, no doubt about that. He's done brilliant this year. If they hadn't have had his goals, their league position looks a whole lot different. If you equate a goal equals a point in the Premier League, basically, they could be at the end of the division that probably a lot of us felt as though at the start of the season they might be, with the players leaving the club. But listen, they are where they are. They're playing extremely well. This club, from the outside, looks a very, very united club.
I think Igor Thiago's got better and better as the season's gone on as well. His composure in front of goal has improved over the course of the season. You don't get 18 goals unless you're very good. 17 of those are in the Premier League. It doesn't matter about the penalties, you've got to score them. I mean, that's a brilliant return.
Yeah. And quickly, just to say, I know Opta said that Brentford had something like a 22% chance of qualifying for the Champions League. Bear in mind how well they are doing this season. A win tonight would move them on to 42 points, which is the same, of course, as Liverpool. But that would be 2 off Chelsea. and 3 off Manchester United in 4.
So, I mean, the biggest revelation from that interview, of course, was that Natalie's a Brentford fan. I didn't know that before.
Did you
Sorry,
not?
did I?
Didn't know.
I deliberately didn't wear my Brentford
So
hat.
are
I
you
didn't want to
getting
be
excited?
too Brentford. I mean, I've been talking about it. Been talking about Europe.
Check the passport.
Definitely got my passport ready, don't you worry. Listen, it's building up nicely here for this final Premier League game of these midweek fixtures. That was all thanks to Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over, gambleaware.org.
The big preview on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
I should say I'm taking one game at a time, as most managers and players would say, of course. Kickoff is fast approaching between Brentford and Arsenal here at the G-Tech. We're going to have all the final build-up for you next. You're tuning into Kickoff live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or month membership. It's 18 and over, stream via the internet. Terms apply.
Kickoff on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Oh, he's really opened up the Sun newspaper there, Jim. No question, Clive. Straight in the middle and right into the free pull-out goals. Goals, yes. The ultimate football coverage with the best expert writers. In-depth tactical analysis. Unrivaled coverage from every league and all the latest football action. Think you've said it all there, Clive. Sorry, Jim. Not to worry, I was reading my copy of Goals anyway. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
The Philly cheese stack is back at McDonald's and it's still intensely cheesy. Imagine the cheesiest thing ever. Now cover it in cheese. Add 2 beef patties, cheddar cheese sauce, crispy onions and even more cheese. The Philly cheese stack. Did we mention it's cheesy? Available until the 16th of March 2026 from 11 a.m. Fees apply to delivery orders. Price and participation may vary, subject to availability.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise, where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You just imagine a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Oh, Mo? Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix, no stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a tree, playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Kickoff live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream a massive month of sport this February on Sky Sports with a Now month membership. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Stamina, celebrity,
Lightspeed weeknight football. Kickoff live on TalkSport.
You're listening to Kickoff Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And we are bringing you Brentford against Arsenal live here on TalkSport. We've been treated to a light show and the video of past memories of the club. And how they've got to where they are right now in the Premier League, as they are in their 5th season here in the Premier League as well. The teams are making their way out. Very quick one to Stuart Pearce, who's on our commentary team. Is this a match, Stuart? As you can hear, it's loud. That will be won on set pieces. Bear in mind what both of these teams are doing this season when it comes to certain set pieces.
You would say it'll play a very big part. Both teams hold a lot of weight on their set plays, and why not? If it gets you over the line on any given day, all well and good. Both teams are very good at it. Maybe not on set plays, but how well you defend the set plays might be the critical outcome.
Yeah. Well, the teams have made their way out here then. And the crowd is expectant too of a game to end these Premier League midweek fixtures. You are listening to Kickoff live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over. GambleAware.org. Let's now look forward to this tie then between Brentford and Arsenal and see who might well come away with all 3 points in this London derby. Let's hand you over to your commentary team then. The former England defender Stuart Pearce is alongside Sam Matterface.
Thank you, Natalie. Yes, it might not be Wuthering Heights, but the Premier League drama and intrigue is certainly reaching dizzying heights. The latest blockbuster season has featured more plot twists than the winter's big cinematic release, and more casualties too. Everyone thought they'd guessed the ending, but Manchester City's late surge is raising the hairs on the back of Mikel Arteta's neck. He can feel the presence of his old boss, and despite Arsenal's consistency, shaking Pep off is threatening to set up a nail-biting finish. Enter Brentford, rugged, bold, unfashionable, but with a manager whose bold tactics, infectious energy and optimism have silenced even the loudest of doubters. Keith Andrews took over from Brentford's greatest manager in the summer, and now he's threatening to deliver a fairy tale that even Thomas Frank couldn't write. In a league where every night brings you something unexpected, will Arsenal fall into the same trap as Manchester United, Liverpool, Newcastle and Aston Villa and falter here? Or will Mikel Arteta's side bring the main character energy? It's Brentford against Arsenal. It's live and exclusive to national radio. On the station that brings you more live football than anyone else, it's TalkSport. Stuart Pearce is alongside me. What sort of match are you expecting?
Well, I think Nat touched on it earlier. The importance of set plays will be there for all to see. I think Brentford will be pleased to sit back in a little bit, let Arsenal have a bit of the ball and rely on the counter-attack threat. But I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. I can see Arsenal coming out on top over the 90-odd minutes. But Brentford have pulled some brilliant results this season.
Well, the referee is John Brooks, who was the VAR at Anfield at the weekend. A stickler for the rules then. He has awarded 4 penalties, issued 3 red cards and distributed 33 yellows this season. The Premier League is just a chapter of our story. The FA Cup 4th round begins tomorrow, and TalkSport brings you more live commentaries from that thrilling competition than anyone else. Hull versus Chelsea starts us off. Macclesfield, Brentford pulls the curtain down. But before that, Brentford have another role to play. Will they be the villain that spoils Mikel Arteta's best laid plans? Or will they end up being beaten, like almost everybody else is, by this relentless Arsenal machine? Arsenal in navy shirts with grey shorts and socks attacking the goal away to our left. And Brentford in red and white stripes, black shorts and socks attacking the goal to our right-hand side. We're underway live on TalkSport with Declan Rice getting us started. David Raya, the former Brentford goalkeeper, getting the ball back on the edge of his penalty area and then sending it long into the Brentford half, down towards the right-hand side where Madueke immediately looks to make his presence felt. Christian Mosquera back in the team tonight, hasn't played in the Premier League since he had to come off against Brentford in December, and his partnership with Gabriel, you feel, will be important tonight, Stuart?
Yeah, it certainly will. They'll be dealing with Thiago, and he's been outstanding. Good physical presence with an eye for a goal.
Yeah, they set up in a 4-3-3 formation. Igor Thiago, the focal point, lethal in the box, strong in the air. Ouattara offers pace and direct running from the wide positions, but they will have to be solid to keep out this Arsenal side. And they don't mind being physical. Ayer and Van der Berg like the battle, but they can be vulnerable to quick transitions, especially if the full-backs push high. So expect them to be maybe a little bit more conservative tonight, Brentford. Here is Madueke. He's got Rico Henry for company. It's good to see Rico Henry back playing football, getting back to form after a long time out last season. Started 10 of the last 11 games before tonight. Van den Berg almost runs into traffic, but just about evades Madueke's attention. He's taking the ball on the left side of the box and then gives it back to Caoimhin Kelleher, the former Liverpool goalkeeper, wearing all green tonight. He funnels the ball back to the Dutchman Van den Berg, long and lean and red-headed, moves up towards the halfway line and pushes the ball into the path of Thiago, who's been followed by Mosquera, who nabs it brilliantly, and now Arsenal have possession on the halfway line with Madueke. They give it back. Keane Lewis Potter almost escaped from the clutches of Zubimendi, and the ball eventually breaks over towards the far side. I'm not a regular in the Arsenal shop, I must admit, but I do believe that this kit that they're wearing tonight is a bit of a hybrid kit. I don't think that those shorts are supposed to go with that top. That's just a view. I think it was all supposed to be all blue, isn't it, with the red trim, I think. I think they've had to change their shorts and socks tonight because of Brentford's dark shorts and socks. That's a poor ball back by Gabriel towards his own goalkeeper, and he's completely missed that, David Raya, and it goes out for a corner kick over on the far side, the first corner of the game. A bit of a misstep from the Arsenal captain.
Yeah, first opportunity here for a set play. He's going to go to Brentford, and as I say, it was poor, slow, no pressure on the ball at all, and he's just overcooked a back pass to Raya, who was outside his goal, so there was no danger of the ball sailing past him into the net. It certainly gives a bit of an ascendancy now to Brentford.
0-0 the score. We've just played over 2 minutes, the first corner of the game, and Brentford pretty useful at set pieces. We'll try and swing this in from the far side. And they've got a little bit of pushing and shoving going on at the far post involving Thiago and Mosquera. Got into a little bit of a tangle. John Brooks is going over just to have a word with both parties. Stuart's favourite pastime.
I don't know why the referees do that. Just wait for the ball to come in, then give a penalty or give a free kick. What's the point in saying don't foul anyone? Well, we know that. We know the laws of the game.
Jensen's take the corner kick over on the far side. It's a high one underneath David Raya, who grabs it first time despite attention, I think, really from his own player, and then bowls it down immediately up towards Gyökeres, who gives it away cheaply, and then it's picked up by Janelt, who in turn then turns over possession. Gyökeres gets it again. His shirt was pulled by Janelt, and Janelt's going to get a yellow card for breaking up of a promising attack.
Yeah, silly play there by Janelt. Just got caught in traffic. Arsenal broke. Brentford broke the attack up, which was fine, but he went straight back into traffic again and had to give a free kick. Well, didn't have to, he did, and he's on a booking now this early on.
Brentford will press high in phases, but they often drop a little bit deeper against the top sides. They'll probably try to target Arsenal's fullbacks in quick counters. What they won't want is to be countered upon themselves, which is why I think Janelt decided to tug back Gyökeres as he was threatening to escape. Coyote nudging the ball out from this near side as Arsenal look to switch the play from right to left out towards Leandro Trossard. It's cut out by Coyote, and it's a throw-in for Nkapie. Centrally is Zubimendi, back into centre field, and Declan Rice, whose hair's getting longer. He plays the ball into Eberici Eze, now on to Nkapie again. A little flick with the boot into the path of the Belgian Trossard, who's been so useful for Arsenal this season. He rolls his studs over the ball, looks to take on Coyote, goes towards the byline, then cuts back, then tries to turn away from Keane Lewis Potter, who's giving him a little bit of attention. In fact, it was Yarmulke actually who was giving him a bit of attention, and then Trossard receives it again and sends it wide to Zubimendi. Zubimendi trundles down the left side, back into Trossard again, and then tries to come in field. Arsenal keeping possession and just trying to move the ball around and look to try and find the gaps in the very tightly packed Brentford defence. The ball goes into the box and it deflects into the arms of Caoimhin Kelleher, who very quickly dispatches upfield. The ball is allowed to bounce, and Mosquera, looking a little bit tentative, eventually gets there ahead of Thiago, and it's picked up by Rice and cleared away by Arsenal. 5 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, good early ball there by Kelleher. I thought Thiago should have done better there. There was a problem when you let the ball bounce, it always helps the attacking player, and I think he should have done slightly better.
Ball turned over again in the middle of the park. This time Eze is fouled though, and Jensen and Thiago looking rather disparagingly at the referee. And the free kick is given. Arsenal similar setup to Brentford. Rice and Zubimendi trying to control possession in midfield. Eze is supposed to be the creative hub tonight. It's a big night for Eberici Eze, having not started any of the last 9 games in the Premier League after the game at Aston Villa. Trossard dispossessed. Yarmouk manages to get the ball forward into the path of Dongo Ouattara on this right-hand side. He turns and runs at the Arsenal midfield, and he goes past Eze, goes past Trossard, slips it down the inside right channel, and actually it wasn't a bad ball at all. And maybe if Thiago had been alert to the movement of Dongo Ouattara, he might well have got on the end of that, Stuart. It was a great, brilliant bit of balletic feat from Dongo Ouattara.
Yeah, it was, and the beauty of it is the way he changed pace. He slowed down, which stopped the defenders. And once again, Gabriel's played one across the face of the goal, and Raya just cleared it off his own goal line.
Well, he miscontrolled it, Raya. He let it to run under his studs, and actually this time he was inside the post, and if he hadn't reacted quickly, that was going to go in the net.
Yeah, we're just saying about Ouattara's run there. Brilliant. Great point in case. He went, he stopped the defenders, then he went again, and he just flat-footed probably about 3 or 4 players.
Well, he's been lively as well, hasn't he, Dongo Ouattara? Scored in his last 2 appearances. He's looking to score in 3 in a row for the first time in his Brentford career, and he's on the ball again now, down this right-hand side. An early ball into the box, looking for Thiago. It's just a little bit too fast and furious, and it goes through the box out to the far side, where it's kept alive by keen Lewis Potter. But they've got a problem in these wide positions, and do you know what? Sometimes when you watch Arsenal, the defenders come up into the inside channels and get very high up, and that means that there is space for the wingers of Brentford to expose down both sides, and Dongo Ouattara certainly did that there with Nkapie caught up the field.
Yeah, the Arsenal defenders do enjoy going 1-for-1, I've got to say, but what gets them out of trouble, they're very aggressive in their press, but if you do receive it a feet comfortably, you've got a chance.
Long throw from the left from Coyote. It's a catapult towards the near post. It goes all the way past everybody and bounces just on the goal line and goes behind and away and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. I don't think anybody got a touch on that. But he has got an unbelievable amount of propulsion on that ball, Stuart.
Yeah, not only that, he's got an unbelievable amount of energy as well, isn't he? He's running from right back to left wing to take throw-ins. Every time I come and watch Brentford, his energy and drive is fantastic.
Seems a good acquisition. A lot of the Brentford acquisitions are good acquisitions. Here is Trossard out towards the left, looking for the run of Nkapie, who's getting high up on this left-hand side again. He's got support from Rice, who joins on the left angle of the penalty area, controls it, scanning, plays the ball back to his captain Gabriel. Gabriel plays it infield to Zubimendi. He trundles down the inside left channel and pokes it into Nkapie, whose cross takes a deflection, goes out for the first corner of the game for Arsenal.
This is where Brentford might have the opportunity. I'm just looking at Arsenal's last attack there. They're building up, the play's gone out to the left, and every outfield player is within 35 metres of the Brentford goal. That is absolutely, the Brentford players' eyes should light up every time they turn the ball over.
Because there's a lot of space to run into.
Exactly that, and they've got the sort of pace up front to want to go and chase him behind.
Well, both teams, as we've mentioned already, are dangerous from set pieces. Arsenal have 17 Premier League goals from dead ball situations, and they're about to try and sling one into the congested penalty area. Every outfield player is inside the 18-yard box. It's towards Gabriel at the far post, who heads it towards the stick, and I think it's pushed over the top by Kelleher and out for another corner as the rain tumbles down in Hounslow.
Yeah, I think Van der Berg got a header to it just in front of Kelleher. He'd have been quite comfortable, Kelleher, to save it, but Van der Berg and Kelleher together basically managed to push it for another corner.
It was a little bit awkward, but they managed to get it away from what ended up being the near post as Gabriel was looking at it. It was headed down by him. He got first contact on the ball after manhandling Michael Coyote. Here is the corner from the other side. Noni Madueke to take it. Left-footed, right under the edge of the 6-yard box. Flicked away by Vandenberg again. Comes back out towards the near side, and then Trossard sent the ball to Rice. Rice back out to Trossard again. Rice moves up to the sort of midpoint of the half, but Trossard is the one who's going to cross it into the box. It's away by Coyote, and then back with Rice again in the centre of the Brentford half. He travels back to halfway, and Arsenal look to recycle and go again. Brentford have survived the first 2 corner kicks that Arsenal have tossed into the box tonight. 11 minutes gone. It's 0-0 between Brentford and Arsenal on Talk Sport. With Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream the Premier League flexibly with Now. Sports Day or month membership, 18+, stream via the internet, terms apply. Raya sends it long. It's high into the air, away by Rico Henry. Zubamendi is quickest to it, but across goes Ouattara over on that far side. And he shuffles the ball out of play, and it's out for a throw into Brentford deep inside their own half. So 12 minutes gone. I think it's been quite a bright start from Brentford, really, despite the fact that Arsenal have had a lot of the ball.
I think for both teams will be delighted. You can tell both teams have got their tails up in what they're trying to achieve in the game. Arsenal probably more of the ball and comfortable in possession. Brentford every chance as well, playing it forward when it's on to do so.
Well, Arsenal excellent at regaining possession, and they've got hold of it again now. And they're also very good at keeping possession inside your own half and circulating the ball. They need to do it with speed, though, to get through this tightly packed Brentford defence. Madueke gets it back to the right-hand side. Mosquera back to Madueke again. Ball played centrally into Mosquera. Mosquera to Gabriel, and Brentford's shape is good enough to force Arsenal back to the halfway line here. Trossard drops a little bit to receive it. Coyote comes out to engage midway inside the Brentford half of the field, and then that's the trigger for everyone to push up, and the ball goes back towards David Raya.
Yeah, they're working cuts of the grass, the Brentford back line. The manager's coaching it from the technical area. Every time that ball goes backwards, he's squeezing his team up collectively. It's good to see. Good coaching.
Manchester United lead in the Women's Champions League. After just 3 minutes, Elizabeth Turlin has scored from a Brighton player. It's the last 16. It's the first leg away at Atletico Madrid tonight. And Manchester United lead by 1-0. And the way things are going, they're playing well enough to get back in the Champions League next season as well. 0-0. 13.5 minutes gone. Here is Jensen. A little bit surprised not to see Jordan Henderson in the starting lineup tonight. I suppose it's a bit of an ask, actually, for him at his ripe old age to play 2 games in 4 days.
Yeah, I think he's dropped him in and dropped him out. He's used Jordan really well, and knowing Jordan, he'll probably want to play every game anyway, but I think it's sensible management.
I do quite like Yarmouk, who's come in for him tonight. Ball flicked on by Thiago. Keane Lewis Potter trying to maybe exploit a mix-up between Timber and Gabriel. They just about tie themselves out of the knot that they got themselves into and managed to clear through David Raya up high into the Brentford half of the field. It remains goalless. Haven't looked entirely sure-footed at the back tonight, Arsenal, which has been their sort of golden ticket this season, hasn't it? Their resoluteness at the back. Only 17 goals conceded.
I think some of that, Sam's, come from the fact that Arsenal have squeezed in to try and put a press on, and they're quite happy to play the ball into the channels for keen runners and get on the end of the ball in that way.
Yeah, usually they're very tough to get the better of. It's easier to break down the doors to Belmarsh than it is to get past the Arsenal defence.
I thought you were going to do a my wallet gag just then, you know.
Here is Yarmouk trying to charge through the centre. There was a foul in the build-up to that move, which has gone against Brentford, which I don't think Vitaly Janot was entirely happy about. I think they felt that there was a little bit of a push, was there, on Rice from Yarmouk. Rice gave up.
I'll tell you what, that wasn't a foul in my world.
Here is Madueke down the right-hand side, trying to dance his way into the penalty area. He gets beyond Janot, but then overruns the ball, and Van der Berg picks it up and just manages to help it out towards the far side. Here is Rico Henry trying to get it forward. What I had written down was 17 Premier League goals conceded. That is tighter than Stuart Pearce's clothing budget.
You've just made that up now just to abuse me.
I'm telling you, it's there.
You're not happy about that bean counter. That's all it is. You're just being spiteful now. I'm going to turn the other cheek.
Nice coat, by the way.
Why, thank you.
Freebie?
Well, loosely speaking.
Here is Ouattara trying to go through the middle. He feels he was manhandled this time in a similar fashion to the way that Yarmouk shrugged off Rice, and no free kick was given. Keith Andrews has gone darting down the left side of the technical area to express his dismay to John Brooks, and Arsenal get the ball back to their goalkeeper again. It's 16 and a bit minutes gone. It's Brentford 0, Arsenal 0, and here is Declan Rice, chest pushed out, running with the ball at his feet. He hesitates, stops, plays it square to Zubimendi on halfway. No real chances in the game so far. No goal-mouth action to speak of, and no saves from either goalkeeper. Arsenal have had a lot of possession, but Brentford just looked very well coordinated and difficult to open up. Rice, body swerves past Ouattara, gets into the Brentford half. He plays it to the left, and now Nkapie into Trossard, who stops, waits, looks forward, looks for Gyökeres, who's occupying the defender, gets to the byline. Ayer follows him out though. It's gone back towards Trossard. It was a poor pass by Gyökeres, and it should be cleared away here by Yarmouk, who does well. Into Ouattara, who's dispossessed. Nkapie into Gyökeres. Across comes Ayer again. This time he scoops the ball high into the air. Thiago gets hold of it but can't keep hold of it, and Trossard's got it back down the left side of the Brentford box. He now tries to run into a little gap and play a poke pass into Eze, but it was well read by Vitaly Janelt, who manages to play his way out of trouble, and Brentford do brilliantly with a couple of triangles on this near side to almost get out, and then Arsenal win it back again very good at regaining possession. Then Coyote gets his body between man and ball, draws the foul from Trossard, and there are just one or two ironic cheers from the Brentford supporters, who are rather happy that a decision has gone their way. And Keith Andrews has now got a yellow card. I said he was berating the referee after that incident involving Yarmouk and Declan Rice, and now John Brooks has brandished a yellow card.
Yeah, I think he had a point, to be fair to him. I didn't see a free kick there. But just going back to this back line of Brentford, it's incredible, the movement. I've berated certain teams in previous weeks about the defensive units not being in sync with each other, that type of thing. But I tell you what, they work together, they squeeze together, they drop together. It's perpetual motion.
And how ironic it is that that team that you were picking apart at the weekend were the team that were coached by the former Brentford manager at the time, which is strange, isn't it? Because that was the area that you would have thought that he got right at Tottenham, would be that defensive line.
Yeah, indeed. But if the players, choose to step out of line, that type of thing, it's very difficult for you as a... I'm sure they work on it all week. There's no doubt about that. But...
here's Rico Henry over on the far side, nudging the ball infield. He felt he was fouled. Another free kick has gone in favour of Brentford. Well, maybe that vocalising of his frustration has done the trick for Keith Andrews. Mikel Arteta also on the edge of his technical area now. He's not happy. And Brentford have the ball on the halfway line. 19 gone, 0-0. Remember, Arsenal have to win to re-establish that 6-point gap at the top of the table. A gap that was cut to 3 yesterday by Manchester City's rather seamless performance against Fulham in the rain in Manchester. It's raining here in South-West London. Apparently hasn't had one dry day all year, the UK, which is quite concerning. Coyote forward, in towards Thiago. Tackle from behind by Gabriel on Thiago, and that's going to be a yellow card for Gabriel. And a free kick to Brentford, 12 yards outside the penalty area, right of centre.
Yeah, as I was saying to you before, you play a straight ball into any of your centre forwards in this league against Arsenal's back line, and they're touch tight on you. I admire that. It's a throwback probably to the Bolden Adams era for getting tight, but he just overcooked that one.
Well, he might have overcooked it, and he has also given Brentford an opportunity to craft the set-piece chance here. Jensen and Janelt standing over it, discussing the procedure, what's the best way of trying to fashion a chance. Ayer has come up from the back, he's right on the edge of the area. Vandenberg is a little bit further back, Thiago is in there as well. Yarmouk is wrestling with Rice, and Ouattara is round at the back post, so there are 5 red and white striped jerseys inside the penalty area. I make it 7 Arsenal defenders alongside them. Here is Jensen into the box towards the far post, headed away by Mosquera, half clearance by Trossard, and it bounces out of play and away for a throw-in on this near side. And Jensen could have kept that in and then turned and fired it into the box, but he was much more interested in seeing Coyote come across and catapult another long throw into the box. He picks up the towel, he dries the ball, he wants to get purchase on it, and he's ready to launch.
Yeah, it won't be long before we see hairdryers down there at touchline drying the ball a bit more intently, I'm sure.
He is locked and loaded. He's taken quite a few steps back from the touchline. His left hand goes in the air, approaches the touchline, then launches it towards the near post. It's flicked away, but into the centre of the goal by Nkapie. Almost came through to Thiago, and then Ouattara went towards it, but Raya came out, and he's thrown it straight at Jensen, and he's out of his goal, Raya. And Jensen's got it on the left-hand side. He sends it in towards the near post. Thiago is there. What a save by Raya! Down to his left. Brilliant agility to keep that out. It's a super header from Thiago. Brilliant save. Back into the box it goes. Away by the defender. In towards Thiago, who leaves it. Ouattara was in there. Zubimendi hacks it away. Anywhere will do for Arsenal. What a stop from David Raya.
Well, that's why he's one of the best in this division. And as I always say, if you're going to win a league or win a major competition, you've probably got to have one of the best goalkeepers in place. And that, yes, okay, there was a giveaway of possession by him, potentially, him and Declan Rice out of sync, but did he make an atonement?
Wow. Well, he's kept more clean sheets this season than any other goalkeeper in the Premier League by some way, and you can see why. I mean, that was absolutely sensational agility from the Spaniard.
Yeah, it was. It was literally a point-blank header by Thiago down to the goalkeeper's left, but agility is what he's got in abundance.
I tell you what, he was a bargain as well. You know, they took him on loan. He signed a contract at Brentford so that they'd get a fee the following year for him, but I think they'd already agreed the fee, and it was in the region of around about 25 million, something like that. What a bargain for a goalkeeper. When you think about how much Edison cost, how much Alisson cost, you know, the big goalkeepers now cost a lot of money. He was an absolute steal. Ball cleared away by Raya, down the left-hand side, and Yarmouk just helps it back into the orbit of Caoimhin Kelleher, who's on the edge of the penalty area, left of centre. Fires it forward.
Coyote just getting his stats up there. Come charging out from right back and made a 70-yard run to shut the goalkeeper down.
There's another one that was a decent acquisition at a low price from Italian football. Up it goes to Thiago, slipped, kept hold of possession. Oh, there was a little nudge on the back of the leg from Mosquera on Janelt. That's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line. Just holding the back of his hamstring there, Janelt. I hope that's nothing more than just a whack that he got. It might have been a dead leg, actually. We're just having a look at the replay once again. And Thiago gets up really well, doesn't he, above the Arsenal defence and heads it goalwards. Is it a little bit too central, if you had any criticism?
No, in fact, having watched it again, I would give even more credit to the goalie, because after he's headed it, it's gone over the top of an Arsenal player and a Brentford player that have almost masked his vision, and he didn't know, shall I go for it or will they get a touch on it? That's made it even more impressive in my eyes.
Ball into the box again from Brentford, and it's collected by Jensen, edge of the area. He clips it in towards a dangerous zone. It's headed away by Zubimendi. Aya goes down in the penalty area. It's a fudged clearance by Mosquera, who hasn't looked entirely comfortable tonight so far. Gyökeres has a heavy touch, and Brentford have got it back again. Arguably, Brentford have been the better side over the last 5 minutes. They put pressure on the Arsenal back line. Here is Janelt, infield towards Yarmouk, who sends it high and long out to the far left, but Rico Henry's not going to get on the end of that. It's too big from him, and it's out of play over on the far side. It remains 0-0.
Yeah, and as I say, if Arsenal weren't sure beforehand, they know they're in a game tonight against this very hard-working and very well-organised Brentford side.
What a job Keith Andrews has done. What a job these Brentford players have done. And here is Eze. Centrally operating is Trossard now. He guides it back to Rice, and now it's on to Urian Timber, then Madueke. He's gone a little bit quiet in the last 10 minutes or so. Mosquera just right of centre into Eze again. Just dropped a little bit deeper to pick up the ball. He slows it down, looks up, needs a pass. There's not enough movement in front of him. Eventually Timber, who's excellent at getting into that inside right channel, looks to receive it but is dispossessed. And Keane Lewis Potter has funneled the ball into Jensen. He's up on the right side of the centre circle. Infield, Coyote travels with the ball, gets beyond Nkapie, feeds the ball back to King Lewis Potter. He's now 5 yards from the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Good turn from Ouattara to get into a crossing position. Tries to take on Declan Rice, who's well stationed, and he pinches it, takes it towards the byline and plays it infield towards Trossard, whose clearance is poor, and it comes back to Yarmulke and then on to Coyote, back to Yarmulke once again. Janelt drops and wants possession, but he goes towards the halfway line instead. Aya has it, Brentford have it, and Mikel Arteta just trying to urge a little bit more urgency out of his team here, because Brentford's closing down has been absolutely, well, more than impressive.
Yeah, it's been top quality, I've got to say, and the only thing you would say in the balance of this game is the power play that Arteta can unleash from the bench. You know, can make a real, when the game's getting stretched at the end, they've got the ability on the bench to do that.
Janelt weaves away from Madueke, makes space for himself and has green grass to gallop into now, and he gets high up into the Arsenal half. He finds Jensen, who's on the edge of the area. He slips it to Yarmulke and then on to Coyote. On the right side now is Ouattara. Ouattara faces up Nkapie, goes on the outside, produces the cross. He goes through the 6-yard area and it's poked away by Zubamendi before Keane Lewis Potter can get there, and it's cleared away again. Certainly, out of the chances that we've had so far, Brentford have cultivated the best of them.
No doubt about that, Sam, and that ball was an absolute wondrous ball. Just took the goalkeeper out with a curl away from him, and Zubamendi, I've got to say, what a clearance, got back in between his central defenders and just hooked it away with the outside of his right foot.
Well, it's currently Brentford 0, Arsenal 0, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brentford to win at 16-5. The draw is 21-10. Arsenal to win is 11-10 on. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, gambleaware.org. This is Talk Sport, and remember, tomorrow we've got FA Cup 4th round action starting for you, including the 4th round draw a little bit later on in the weekend, but before that we've got an absolute smorgasbord of live football. We've got Hull versus Chelsea tomorrow night, 7:45. Women's Super League is on TalkSport 2. Manchester City against Leicester. City, who got beat at the weekend, didn't they? And need to recalibrate. And then on Saturday, Valentine's Day, because we love you, we've got Burton versus West Ham, Stevenage versus Huddersfield. We're round the grounds with Adrian, Kevin Phillips and Chris Iwelumo. We've got Manchester City, Salford, Aston Villa, Newcastle and Liverpool, Brighton. See? Told you we loved you. And then Sunday we've got a little bit extra as well for you. And Monday too. This is Talk Sport. Here is Dango Ouattara down the right side into Thiago, who gets away from Nkapie and then passes it back to Aya. We're nearly at the half-hour mark, Stuart, and it's been a really impressive first 30 minutes from the home team.
Yeah, it has. I think it's been an exciting game. Both teams playing their part within this game. Well organised, very little to choose between the sides, and probably, as you said, Brentford just coming out on top with probably chances or skirmishes in and around Arsenal's backline.
Well, they've been solid themselves recently, and we talked about Arsenal's great defence, but 4 clean sheets in 9 for Brentford. They did surprisingly lose here to Nottingham Forest in the last home game. They conceded twice against Newcastle at the weekend. Ouattara thinks he was fouled on the edge of the area. Arsenal looking to escape with Madueke. The challenge from Van den Berg doesn't go Brentford's way. It bounces into the path of Gyökeres on the right-hand side, and then it doesn't quite sneak through to Madueke. Gyökeres then commits a foul as Brentford look to escape. There was just a moment, really, for the first time, I feel, that Brentford were a little exposed there. Arsenal didn't make the most of it, and then there was a trip by Gyökeres over on the far side. I mentioned it, but the referee seems to have taken exception to the challenge and has given a yellow card.
Yeah, for me it's unfortunate. Gyökeres is trying to get back and do his team a favour, and he's just sort of bumped legs. I don't think there was any intent in it.
That was not the breaking up of a promising attack, was it?
No.
That was two players that actually just came together in the running motion.
In my mind it was. I'm not sure you could be booking players for that. But it doesn't detract from this game, which is absolutely intriguing at the moment.
Ball sent long up towards Igor. Christian Mosquera gets there. Igor Thiago tries to put pressure under Nkapie, and too much so, according to the assistant on this near side. And Steve Meredith very quick to raise his flag. Referee gives the free kick, and Arsenal have possession once again. I mean, Arsenal obviously a stellar team. Lots of power in this team today. Not as much creativity. It's not the front line level of creativity. Calafiori, I think, is probably the first choice left back. Maybe Nkapie is in there today just to try and keep tabs on Ouattara. There's no Saka, obviously. He's just coming back from injury. Here's Gyökeres, though, trying to get round the outside of Ayer. Doesn't manage to do so. And the referee gives a goal kick. It already went out of play before Kelleher cleared it against the Swede. Oh, no, he's changed his mind. He's gone for a corner kick.
Yeah, as I say, I thought Ayer should have cleared that himself. He's ended up running Gyökeres out of the equation, and then I think he should be dealing with that. He's left it for his goalie, and his goalie's just kicked it against him. I think the goalie would have got away with it, but he picked it up, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh, well, the referee took so long to decide that he was going to give a corner kick there. Anyway, there is a corner on this near touchline for Arsenal. Remember, 17 goals from set pieces in the Premier League alone this season. And Declan Rice, one of the best deliverers of a set piece, right-footed, swings it towards the far post. Kelleher was nowhere. It drops on the edge of the area, and it's cleared away by Dongo Ouattara. Eze's pulled him back. That's going to be a yellow card.
Now, if the referee declines to book someone on this occasion...
He's got to.
I'm astounded.
He's got to book him. He cannot fail to book him after what he's just done to Gyökeres.
Yeah, I mean, it was minimal contact, make no mistake, but if he deems it a foul, I think you've got to follow that with a yellow.
Well, the difference between the two is that arguably this was more the breaking up of a promising attack, because Brentford were trying to escape from the set piece.
Exactly. I'll tell you what, though, just thinking about Arsenal, they're staying in the game here. They're, I wouldn't say second best, but certainly Brentford are the side that have probably pushed a little bit more. And it's games like this that champions spring from. You know, if they end up coming away from here on the run of play, what we've seen so far, with a victory, you think, that's why you potentially got all the hallmarkings of a champion.
And by the way, we're dealing with a good team here. Arsenal are playing a team that have been absolutely superb. They mustn't be taken for granted. They've won 7 of their last 10 games in all competitions, Brentford. Here's Trossard, moving up to within 15 yards of the edge of the Brentford penalty area. They're yet to cultivate a really good chance in the match, Arsenal. David Raya's had to make a supreme save from Igor Thiago. But here's Madueke into the box. Coyote filling in, heads the ball away. It bounces inside the area. Rico Henry loops it out. It falls on the edge of the box. Madueke with a push in the back of Keane Lewis-Potter. Free kick for Brentford away to our left-hand side.
Somewhere down the line, I'm going to make a visit to St George's Park and clue the referees in on what is a dive and what is a foul, because that was pathetic. It really was. He just cannoned himself on the floor, and, well, incredible, really.
Would you like to see some of my referee friends? Is that what you're saying? I can set that up for you.
I didn't know you had referees
for a
friends.
fee.
I'm not paying anything, you know that.
I think actually it might be a good idea, though.
Yeah.
Just to get a bit of sort of like, football nous into some of these decision makings, because some of them have got a really good feel for it. There's a couple of referees that obviously have played the game at a reasonable level and know it, but there are also situations where you can tell that someone's conning the referee, and that information does need to be passed on.
Well, the ball went up in the air on that occasion. It's gone about 15 feet up in the air, and you could see that the Brentford player was literally putting his body in a position to launch himself on the floor. It was the clarity of it was ridiculous.
Well, you're listening to Brentford 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Here is Raya through to Declan Rice. And now he's been released here, and he's got about 20 yards of room to run into, and he's already galloped 30, and he's played the ball wide now to the left, and there's a lot of room for Nkapie to get his cross in. He does towards the far post. Good header by Vandenberg, and it had to be a good strong header to flick it away from Gyökeres, who was lurking behind him and ready to pop in a free header if it had gone past the Dutchman's head.
I'll tell you what Brentford have done, defended crosses and corners particularly well, because Kelleher is one of these goalies. You know, it's almost unwritten that he's not coming for anything. At least you know that as a defender.
Yeah, he's a brilliant shot stopper, but he's not got great command of his penalty areas. He didn't come out and grab stuff and take the pressure off.
Yeah, but as long as you know that as a team and a back four, you can say, right, OK, fine, we know he's not coming. One of us has got to get a head on it. It's sensible defending.
Timber into the box, looking for Gyökeres. It goes through past everybody. Trossard tries to keep it in. He runs almost to the corner flag to do so. Nkapie gets it left side of the area. He nudges it back infield to Gabriel. He stops the ball, plays it back out of Trossard. The Belgian then faces up Coyote. Instead of getting the ball in the box, he goes back to Gabriel, swerves across towards Madueke. The ball comes down for him off of a defender into the box. He clips it into the penalty spot area where it's collected by Janol and then tossed up into the air by Thiago, who invites Ouattara to chase with Gabriel, but he was never going to get anywhere near that. And Raya picks it up and surges forward once again, and Arsenal just upping the intensity and the ante as we get towards half-time. There's 8 minutes to go before the break. It's Brentford 0, Arsenal 0 on Talk Sport. And here is Declan Rice.
Yeah, Declan Rice picked the ball up a lot, but mainly in deeper lying areas. I'd like to see him further up the pitch. I think that's his forte.
Madueke twisting away from Rico Henry, going down the outside of the penalty area, but Henry is kept to his task. Sent back into the path of Declan Rice, who flicks it round the corner for Timber. Timber rolls his studs over the ball, gives it back to Rice, back out wide to Madueke again, looking for the cross. Henry is trying to hold him up once more. Madueke goes one way, then the other, overruns the ball, gets to the byline, goes down under pressure, looks in the direction of the referee, who gives nothing more than a goal kick.
Well, I'll go back to the previous foul that I thought wasn't a foul. There was probably more in this one than there was the last one, but there was hands on the back, but I don't think there was any force in it whatsoever. You know, Emery gains nothing by committing a foul there, that is for sure.
It's not a penalty, is it?
It isn't, no. It's no more a penalty or a free kick than the last one was that was given, and that is the frustration with players.
One thing I will say that I've quite liked over the course of the week is even if you don't like some of the decisions that have gone against your team, the tendency has been, very much so recently, to go with the referee's call. It has to be a big error for them to get involved now.
Yeah, which we're all pleased about, I think.
Yeah. Ball sent long by Madueke through the middle of the pitch. It's cut out by Kelleher, and Brentford have it back away to our left-hand side. Here is Janot. Back with Kelleher. He's taking his time with his ball at the feet. Sends it long, looking for Jensen. It's away by Gabriel and then taken down towards the left where Rice has it now, just in from the touchline. Plays it to Trossard. Trossard onto Nkapie, then back to Rice, and then Zubimendi. Good little pass into Rice again. Tries to turn, but Thiago's getting back there to forage and win the ball back for his team. It's excellent work from the Brazilian striker, and it leaves Arsenal frustrated as we approach half-time.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes I'm seeing Declan Rice driving with the ball and getting in more advanced areas, and I think, to be honest with you, if Arsenal can find a way of getting him further up the pitch, it'll improve their options of getting efforts at goal.
These are two of the most animated and vocal managers I've seen on the touchline this season. And like Pep's very animated and gets very sort of handsy and gesticulates quite a lot, but I mean, Mikel Arteta's got a reputation of doing the old calisthenics on the touchline, but Keith Andrews is there as well. Want to do that keep fit stuff? That not for you? What is it called? You know, you've not done that. Ball out of play on this near touchline. Foul by Ouattara, puts the ball out, and it's away for a Arsenal free kick. Gabriel wanted it played back. Now it's left for Declan Rice to shoot it forward. Eze is waiting for possession inside the centre circle. He gets hold of it. Now he turns and funnels the ball out to Jurrien Timber. Timber, the Dutchman, 3 or 4 yards in from the right touchline. Just in front of the centre circle is Mosquera. Again, Brentford with everybody behind the ball and knowing exactly the job and the space that they have to fill as Arsenal try to piece their way through towards the edge of the area. They can't do that. They've forced back towards the halfway line. Eze has been chased out of town over on that far side by Janol and has to then try and come up with a trick to get into space to feed Madueke. He then moves it infield to Timber. They go back down the right touchline where Zubamendi is joined the attack. But after all of those passes, they're still on the halfway line with Mosquera, and that's credit to Brentford.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Eze is one of those that's found it a little bit difficult to get into the game.
Here is Madueke down the Arsenal right, gets to the edge of the area this time. Urian Timber takes over, declined to put the cross into the box. He goes back wide to Madueke once again. He tries to cut in past Henry, gets the cross in with his left foot. It's easily dealt with by Van den Berg, and then nudged into the path of Rice by Gabriel. Lovely little ball into Trossard, who's beautifully set up in Cappier. Through the 6-yard area it goes, but filling in was Vitaly Janol, just to ensure that Gyökeres couldn't get on the end of that. And it's cleared away by Brentford, and it's still 0-0.
Well, I've got to say, Brentford are filling the box brilliantly there. Declan Rice sent the ball out with a hitch kick out wide, and when it come in, all you could see was red and white stripes filling between the goalposts.
Brilliant discipline from the Brentford defence as Rice gets up to the edge of the area, tries to get away from Janol, pokes it left. It's with Trossard now, as Arsenal continue to amount pressure on the edge of the area. Gabriel slides it forward. Trossard being followed by Coyote. He's still going infield, gets away from Coyote, keeps his feet just about. He's about 10 yards outside the box. He's now on the right side. Zubamendi then goes back out left. Arsenal keeping hold of the ball, but can't pierce the resolute Brentford backline. It's Mosquera into Madueke, back out to Timber. Timber trying to travel forward, and then it's picked up by Madueke again, who looks to run down the right hand side and take on King Lewis Potter. He gets a left footed cross towards the far post, headed by Nkapie, back into the 6-yard box, away by Van den Berg, kept alive by Eze, who prods it forward. It's picked up inside the 18-yard box by Trossard, but he has to come out of the area to find Rice, and then again they go back to the halfway line.
Yeah, I don't know why Nkapie didn't go for goal there. He's pulled it back. I think that's a heading opportunity.
Here is Trossard, edge of the area, onto Gyökeres, heavy touch again, away by Jensen, into Thiago, who takes the ball in well, then sends it long, and he puts it over the top from Ouattara, and Raya has come a long way. He had to get there, and he does just about, and he spirals the ball into the air. He gets caught in the floodlights and goes above our heads, and out for a throw-in for Michael Coyote to toss one in right at the end of the first half.
Yeah, a very wet winter here played a part in that going through to Raya, I think, because that was a super ball by Thiago, and Ouattara just probably about half a yard short of getting a touch on it.
Just nicked off the greasy surface, didn't it, and ran through to David Raya. And I think he was pretty grateful that he got there first, because otherwise Ouattara was through on goal. Here comes the long throw, with disruption being employed inside the penalty area. It's thrown in towards Nkapie, and then he flicks the ball to King Lewis Potter, who tries to swivel and hit a volley towards goal, but he misses the target. There was a lot of pushing and shoving inside that penalty area during that set piece, and Vitaly Janol had arms around his chest. He was trying to get towards the ball. Thiago was wrestling with Mosquera in front of the goalkeeper. It was a little bit handsy.
Yeah, as I say, there was a lot of bodies around there, and Brentford on a couple of occasions have not got the first contact, but it's been an Arsenal defender, and all they can do is flick it on, doing Brentford's job for them.
Well, we're going to have 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half here in Brentford. And the sandwich between Kew Bridge and the A4 and a little small quadrant of land. This brilliantly appointed little stadium with 17,500 in here tonight. Around about 1,700 supporters from Arsenal on the far side. 17,000 capacity of this little stadium. I suppose that doesn't include the guys in the flats away to our right hand side, who can see over the top of the stand away to our right. You're in the top 2 or 3 levels.
Yeah, there's a few lights on that top floor. People sat at the windows.
I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of people who rent out their apartment on match day.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Ball sent long up towards King Lewis Potter. It's out of play. Obviously, I didn't discover it myself. My 8-year-old told me about it.
Of course.
Here is Rico Henry trying to get down the outside. He grabs hold of the ball, and then he grabs hold of Madueke, who grabs hold of him, and the referee says play on. Eze gets the ball under control, then loses it, but he was pushed by Janelt. Free kick is given against Janelt, and Arsenal have the ball inside their own half. We've nearly played that minute that we've been added at the end of the first half. It's been a very competitive first 45 minutes as well, and if Arsenal thought they were going to come here, get 3 points, go home, and everything was going to be normal, then they were mistaken, because they've been very competitive, Brentford, as we thought they might be. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, there has never been a 0-0 draw between these two, but this one is heading that way. Liverpool, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Newcastle have all lost here this season. Chelsea and Spurs have dropped points at the G-Tech, but Arsenal really can't afford to if they want to extend their lead at the top of the table to 6 points tonight. Half-time, it's Brentford 0, Arsenal 0.
Sam, thank you very much. Yes, a real competitive first half we have seen here in this derby. Let's look over it with Stuart Pearce then. I can't quite remember the last time that Arsenal haven't had a shot on target, but that's the situation in this game, Stuart, because Brentford's defenders have really held them at bay.
They certainly have. As I say, Brentford have done brilliantly well. The organisation of the back four, the managers in the technical area coaching them out. They're squeezing up every opportunity they got, condensing play. And more importantly, when Arsenal have had opportunities to pop the ball in the box, they've defended it brilliantly. They've got numbers between the goalposts, and they've got first contact on, well, probably every single time, you know. I'd like, from Arsenal's point of view, to see Declan Rice play more advanced. I think he can make things happen. But Arsenal have got the luxury, I think, of bringing 3 players on that could have real impact, and that will be the worry for me if I'm Keith Andrews.
But we've seen in this first half, even going forwards, how difficult Brentford have made it for Arsenal. And in fact, obviously it's Brentford that have the better of the chances in the Arsenal box.
Yeah, without a doubt. They've been brilliant, well organised. When they've turned it over, they've gone from back to front with good passing, not clearances, I'm talking good passing. And they've had some skirmishes from set plays, long throws and the like. They've not had a clear-cut opportunity at the moment, but saying that, Raya's made an excellent save with Thiago's header down to his left-hand side was wonderful.
Especially as that came about from a Raya mistake, where he gave the ball away straight to Matthias Jensen, who then made the cross for Thiago to rise above everyone else to be able to head it, and it looked like it was heading goalwards, but as you say, Raya was there to dive towards his left to keep it out. Yeah,
as I say, sometimes when you're like Arsenal, when they've defended deep and drawn Brentford on for these set plays, they're looking to counter-attack quickly. So on occasion, you're going to give the ball away. And I think as a manager, Arteta, if you're looking to play early all the time, you've got to accept that you might give the odd one away and get caught out. What about the penalty appeal that... OK, it wasn't really looked at in the sense of it was quickly dismissed by John Brooks as well as VAR, but Noni Madueke going down, there was some calls. He was thinking it was a penalty. Not for you in any way, though. No, I don't think so. There was a hand on his back. I don't think there was any real intent at bringing the player down. I don't think there was any downward pressure on the player either. You know what it's like, you get in the box, and that's probably the one downside of the game for me. Players have gone down a little bit cheaply. It's the nature of football nowadays. I get that, but don't spoil the spectacle for the fans. But then again, we've also seen earlier on a foul that was given for Yeho Yarmouk that wasn't a foul, and he was through on goal once at that point. Yeah, really strange. I say through on goal. He was just through. Yeah. You know, you look at some of these decisions that get given, and it's tough on the referees. I've got to quantify that. You know, the players do know that, look, if I'm in a tight area, I'm just going to go to ground and force the referee to make a decision of some description. But it's been an intriguing game for me. I've absolutely loved it. It's 0-0. There's not been a wealth of goal-mouth action, but the standard of both teams and how organised they are, I find really intriguing. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Arsenal being quite boring this season, but they are still getting the job done at the end of the day, hence why they're top of the league. Does it matter what style of football you play at the end of the day? I'm not saying this has been boring, because it hasn't, but just in general. In all honesty, with you've got to understand now, with Arsenal being top of the tree, teams are raising their game against them as well. You know, they come into town as the champions in waiting. Maybe it might be a bit early for me to say that. So Brentford are saying, we've got an opportunity, David versus Goliath here, raise your standards. Their standards have been high, but they've raised their standards and said, right, I'll tell you what, we're going to see if we can knock them over. And that's what Arsenal will face between now and the end of the season.
OK, you're tuning in to Kickoff Live on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over, gambleaware.org. No goals then in this first half between Brentford and Arsenal. But coming up next, you're going to hear from Thomas Tuchel after he signed an extension to his England contract.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home, watching the big game cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
McDonald's wraps. All flavour, no mess. No drips on your drip or grease on your shirt. No crumbs on your keyboard or sauce on your dashboard. Just all the flavour of sweet chili chicken, barbecue and bacon chicken and new tikka chicken. Wrapped up neat. Served after 11 a.m. Tikka chicken wrap available until the 13th July 26. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Sir Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Oh, Mo? Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Huh? Turn right at the Floordrome. You've reached Chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
The beautiful game doesn't stop at the final whistle, and neither does the sun.co.uk. So you can go beyond the last kick with expert insight into the big moments and in-depth analysis of tactics, plus the latest breaking news and exclusives. And you can get it whenever and wherever you want it. To keep up with every kick, just head to thesun.co.uk. It's unbeatable.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then... substitution. His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Kickoff live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
More fun than paying your gas bill. Kickoff live on TalkSport.
You're listening to Kickoff here on TalkSport, where we are bringing you Brentford against Arsenal, and currently at half-time it is goalless between the two sides. It does, of course, extend Arsenal's lead to 4 points at the top of the table, and as for Brentford, it moves them on to 40, which would put them within 4 points of Chelsea and 5 of Manchester United in fourth. It's been a real competitive game as well. We've got a whole host of FA Cup commentaries coming your way. You won't miss a thing with us as always on Talk Sport. And we've got, for example, Hull, I should say, against Chelsea. That's coming up tomorrow night here on Talk Sport. There's also Burton against West Ham. Game Day Live will keep you up to speed with everything happening in the 3 o'clock kickoffs before. We also bring you Aston Villa against Newcastle and Liverpool-Brighton, that on Saturday. And there's a whole host of games on Sunday. And Brentford are back in action in the FA Cup as they head to Macclesfield. And we all remember what happened in the third round when Crystal Palace went there and were knocked out. OK, let's bring you the half-time odds then from this game at the G-Tech with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yeah, and the odds have changed. Brentford are now best price to win at 17-5, but if you think Arsenal will go away with all 3 points, it's 23-20. The draw, 6-4. That was the latest on with Ladbrokes. It's Satan Nova, begambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Now, earlier today it was announced that Thomas Tuchel has signed a 2-year contract extension, which will see him lead England until at least 2028. The FA have said it removes any potential distraction of Thomas's future going into the World Cup this summer. Tuchel had been linked with the vacant Manchester United job, which now eliminates him from that conversation. Well, earlier Tuchel spoke to TalkSport's Angelina Kelly over in Brussels after the Nations League draw and said regarding his new deal that he was only ever interested in England.
There are always rumours and there stays rumours. I can just tell you that I was fully committed to the idea of staying, and the FA was fully committed. So if I'm ever tempted to go back to club football, it's not in the next 2.5 years.
So you've set the record straight there. Now, we've just learned that England will be facing Spain and Croatia, as they did in their first ever Nations League tournament, and the Czech Republic. We've got a repeat of the Euros final. What's your reaction to this draw?
Yeah, a lot of stories around it. It's a difficult draw. I think that was clear from the start, because we were in pot 3 of very strong opponents in all the other pots. So that's what it is. Lee Carsley made sure that we are back in League A. That's where we want to be. And it's very competitive. It's but basically exactly what we need also to prepare for the home Euros.
Now, we saw you in the stands at West Ham versus Manchester United. I have to ask, Hobby Mainoo, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, we're all in the starting lineup for the visitors, don't know if you noticed, but they haven't really featured in your plans so far. But what is the likelihood of any of those names being in your next England camp?
They were always in the picture, but they are like more so now in the picture. I guessed that they were in the starting lineup, and I guessed right. That's why I wanted to see them. I wanted to see them live. I'm very happy that they are in a good run of form, in good shape, because they are back in the picture. March gives us the chance to have a last look at players before we need to nominate for our trip to US. So yeah, they're in the picture, and I'm happy because competition is on.
Yes, that was Thomas Tuchel speaking to TalkSport earlier on today. Let's get the thoughts from Stuart Pearce, then England legend, who will be out covering England as well at the World Cup. What do you make of the decision then for the FA to sign him up for another 2 more years?
Sensible decision by the FA from their side of it. And I think from Thomas Tuchel's side of it, I think he really enjoys the job. I think it might have even surprised him a little bit how much he's enjoyed the job. You know, sometimes you go from that daily contact and you think, well, what's it going to be like having periods of downtime as such? I think he's really enjoyed it, and that's probably the main driver that's made him sign a new contract.
Well, I mean, I think he said in the November international break that he was upset that he's going to have to wait till March for the next one, of course, because he had been enjoying it so much. And do you think what the FA was saying, the reason they've signed him up is because they wanted to end the uncertainty, and that's something that could have played on people's minds, players' minds? It
would have been a story, right, certainly for the first couple of weeks leading in from the media at this World Cup about his future, that type of thing. Is he fully focused? Speculation about other clubs. That would have all come to the fore this summer. So let's just put all that to bed. And also as well, you've got to understand, there's a tournament on home shores as well afterwards, which is a great driver and exciting for any sort of, anyone leading one of the home nations.
I was listening to White and Jordan earlier, and Simon was talking about the fact that maybe what should happen is that you should be assessed after a tournament and then decide whether or not someone continues. And I think in an ideal world, he's absolutely right. But in football, you don't sign someone up, they go somewhere else. Someone else will do it. You know what I mean? So you've got to cut off that avenue. And if England want to, the FA believe that he is the man to lead England going forward, then they needed to act before it got into a situation where other clubs, and there are other big clubs who have been interested in him before, started searching to replace their manager.
Yeah, I also think as well, international managers need more than one tournament to understand the runnings of tournaments, the preparation, base camps, all of those types of things. And I've just seen Odegaard come on the pitch, my friend.
You thought that was going to happen, didn't you? Also, look, I spoke to him last year. He went for an interview at Manchester United. He didn't fancy working there because of the structure.
Really?
And he didn't. I never understood the stories linking him with the job actually this summer, because he was never going to do it. I don't think he's a vibes guy. He went to Bayern. He was not a Bayern fan. He didn't really like it. There was too many cooks there. He wants to be able to get on with it. He's enjoying his job, and he wants to keep doing it. So it's good news for England.
Indeed. He's signed up then until 2028. And, of course, as we heard, England will be drawn against Spain, Croatia and Czechia in the Nations League. Right, both teams have made their way out now onto the pitch, and with the confirmation of the team news, we'll bring that to you in just a moment. But you are listening to Kickoff live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is they're here for it. Let's bring you our commentary team then for this second half. It's the former England defender Stuart Pearce, who is alongside Sam Matface.
It is Eze for Odegaard, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, and you're suggesting there might be the death knell of Eze, maybe.
I just said his name.
It was a tonality that I picked up on.
Well, look, when you haven't played for 9 games, you haven't started for 9 games, and you've been taken off at half-time, and your team aren't winning, obviously eyebrows are going to be raised, aren't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, I mentioned in first half, I didn't think he had too much of an impact in the game. It's no surprise to me he's made that change. I also think as well there might be an option for a couple more changes on 60-odd minutes or so if they've not made a breakthrough.
Well, that's the change in the first moments of the second half. And the ball went back to Jensen, who flicked it up and then kicked for touch down towards the corner flag. They squeezed up Brentford on Arsenal and tried to put them under pressure, but Timber has escaped and sent Gyökeres down the right side. Ayer gets across his body and sends it back to Kelleher away to our right-hand side. That's the only change of the half-time break. So it is Kelleher in goal, a back four of Coyote, Ayer, Vandenberg and Henry for Brentford. They've got Janelt, Yarmouk and Jensen in midfield, with Ouattara on the right, Lewis Potter on the left and Thiago through the middle. For Arsenal in dark blue shirts, white and off-white grey shorts and socks with red trim, attacking the goal away to our right in the second half. Go through their 11 in just a second, because Nkapie's just thrashed the ball through the 6-yard box, looking for Gyökeres, who's gone down, and the ball's gone right the way through to this near side. They've got Raya in goal, made a good save in the first half. Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel and Nkapie. Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard. Then Madueke, Gyökeres and Trossard. Throwing on the near side to be taken by Rico Henry in the left full-back position, hoisted into the air by Janelt. Didn't get great contact on it. It bounces in front of Jensen, who wins the header, and Odegaard tries to push it into the path of Timber. It comes off the Dutchman and goes out of play, and it's away for a Brentford throw deep inside their own territory. Brentford's only win over Arsenal in the Premier League came on the opening day of the season in August 2021. Christian Norgard, now of Arsenal, scored that day. So did Sergi Canos. And it was a stunning return to the top flight for Brentford. And they've been here ever since. And since then, Arsenal have won every visit to the bus stop in Hounslow, as the song goes. But they're not winning today. Still 0-0. Rice on to Odegaard. Back to Urian Timber, who takes a touch to set it down the right side. He then gallops towards the edge of the area, pokes it into the path of Madueke, whose first time cross is towards the far post. Oh, it's missed, and it's come through to Zubimendi. Zubimendi back into the centre, laid back to Trossard, hits it against the defender, half-hearted claims of handball, and it's smuggled away by the Brentford defence. Was a little bit surprised that Zubimendi didn't hit that himself. Ball out towards the left-hand side, collected by Zubimendi again. Now onto Trossard, flicks it round the corner. Rice getting into the penalty area. Zubimendi trying to keep it alive. And Arsenal putting the pressure on as Brentford clear. Nkapie receives it left side over on the far touchline.
Coyote got very, very fortunate there. He's gone to head the ball, missed it totally, and Arsenal just couldn't get a finish away.
What an opportunity for Arsenal at the start of the second half to get on the score sheet against Brentford. Zubamembi at the far post and all sorts of bodies inside the penalty area having a go at it. Didn't quite come up with the moment. Here is Trossard in the 10 position now, drifting infield. Plays it out wide to Nkapia. Coyote goes over to try and engage with him. We've played 3 minutes of the second half. Arsenal shooting from left to right towards the end where some of their fans are. They're over in the corner, 1,700 of them who have made the journey here today. Madueke travels down the touchline, attacks the penalty area. On the overlap is Timber. It's blocked by Henry, who's been brilliant again, I think, tonight. Goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag, and it remains 0-0.
Well, it's been a really good scrap, actually, between Henry and Madueke, and something tells me that he'll have to deal with Saka before the evening's out as well.
Ball tossed in by Timber, back to Mosquera, and then all the way back to the halfway line. Now it's with Odegaard, who's got the captain's armband on for the second half. I don't think he was quite meant to get that out to Timber. It took a little deflection and went into the Dutchman's path, but now Odegaard is wandering forward again. Now it's up to Zubamendi to try and find a way through. He's looking for Timber, who's trying to roll past King Lewis Potter, who just used his body well enough to edge Timber out of it. A bit frustrated, Timber, I think, as the ball goes off him and out for a throw-in in the left full-back position. Remember, tomorrow morning when you wake up, Ray Parlour is alongside and Alan Brazil. That's tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. And they'll be looking back on this game, and all the weekends football will be previewed ahead of the big FA Cup weekend. We're looking forward to it here on Talk Sport. Ball sent forward by Aya. Ouattara trying to test Nkapie's alertness. He gets back and funnels it into the path of David Raya. And we've had a very similar start to the second half as we had to the first, a competitive one, but Arsenal have been a little bit more assertive inside Brentford territory, Stuart.
Yeah, they have. What they've done very well is they've staged an attack. When it's been cleared, they've recycled the ball and kept the pressure on Brentford.
Well, Brentford's record in London derbies has been a little bit less impressive than the rest of their home form. They failed to win any of their last 7, but snatching anything tonight will be welcome for Keith Andrews. Mikel Arteta has got a very strong record in London derbies. He's won 41 of the 67, the best ratio of any Premier League manager to have taken charge of at least 20. And Arsenal have lost just one of their past 20 away games against fellow London sides since the start of 2022-23 season. Here is Thiago on halfway. Does well. Plays it infield to Rico Henry. Can't release it. He ends up giving it straight to Mosquera, and it's back with Nkapie on the edge of the penalty area over on the far side. Here is Gyökeres holding the ball up, trying to turn. Goes out of play and out for a throw-in on the halfway line.
Yeah, clever defending there by Aya. Just got a little nudge on the back of Gyökeres. Not enough to give a foul away, but enough to put Gyökeres off with his first touch.
Here is Kelleher. Back to Aya. Brentford in possession. Arsenal 3 points better off than they were after 25 games last season. Second with 53 points, 7 points behind the leaders Liverpool. In fact, this is their best start to a season since they took 60 points from their opening 25 games 3 years ago. They found themselves 5 points clear at the top. However, as Arsenal fans will know all too well, they took just 24 points from their final 13 games and finished second, 5 points behind the eventual champions Manchester City. Manchester City again just lurking on their shoulder, and they won't be too far away from them should this finish 0-0. Just 4 points the gap at the end of the night, at the end of this match round, unless Arsenal can find a way through. The crossfield ball was aimed by Zubamendi out to Madueke, but it was won by Rico Henry. He set Lewis Potter on the charge, and he's burst into the Arsenal half of the field, and he's got control of the ball, and he's found Ouattara, who in turn has given it to Thiago, who's pulled the trigger. It's blocked by Gabriel, and it's cleared away by Arsenal to the halfway line. Jensen with a little nudge on Madueke. Mikel Arteta sprung up like a jack-in-a-box to appeal the decision, which has gone against the Brentford captain, Matthias Jensen. And it's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, I thought Jensen knew exactly what he was doing there, Madueke, just waiting for the contact before he flicked it past him. He would have been clear. And just going back, Lewis Potter, what a great run that was. Just cut inside the box, fed his strikers, and Thiago Mascara just managed to get across and get a good blocking.
And he's been another good acquisition, 20 million quid from his first club, Hull, who we feature tomorrow night on TalkSport when they play Chelsea in the FA Cup. King Lewis Potter, and the goal tonight would equal his best ever return. Here is Zubimendi out to the far touchline as Arsenal come on the attack with Nkapie high up inside Brentford territory. The ball looped towards the far post. It goes right the way through the penalty area. Lewis Potter is there again, and this time he finds Matai Jensen, who ends up twirling out of play, and Declan Rice tosses the throw in field. It's a soggy night in West London. The rain has just relented, but it was teeming down earlier on today. And there is a rather greasy surface in front of us. I'm sure it won't be too long before it starts again. Here's Odegaard, out to Nkapie. Cross goes Coyote just trying to stand his ground, but the ball goes down the left into Trossard, and Trossard wriggles away from Janelt, plays it infield to Rice, a little back heel to Odegaard, edge of the penalty area. Arsenal knitting together some nice passes now, and then Nkapie tries to go down the outside of Yarmouk, but then has to check back, and then ends up going all the way back to Gabriel on the left side of the Arsenal defence, and then Rice takes over, comes forward at pace again. Now Trossard runs along the 18-yard line, fires a shot goalwards, it's blocked by Ayer, it goes out and away for a corner kick. And they just drew Brentford in there a little bit to make the room for Trossard to travel along the 18-yard line, perpendicular to the goal line, and smash it towards the near post. It was blocked by Ayer.
Yeah, good positional play there by Ayer. Just filled up the goal and kept his hands by his side and just deflected it, I think, with that right knee.
Well, we played nearly 10 minutes of the second half. Still, Caoimhin Kelleher has had very little to do in the Brentford goal, but he might have a bit more to do now. The corner taken by Declan Rice. At the far post, it comes all the way through Trossard. He kills it, sets it back. Madueke miskicks it. It hits him on the arm. The referee plays on, says it's accidental. He's got it inside the area, trying to check in on his left foot, then comes back on his right, tries to find a way through, but can't because Brentford are so tightly packed inside the box. Odegaard is a bit free here. He clips the ball towards the left side of the 6-yard box, headed away by Ouattara. Comes out as far as Rice. The pressure is building here on the Brentford backline. Timber into the box. It's straight into the body of Trossard, and it goes behind and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side, and it remains 0-0.
There's elements to this game. It's almost like attack versus defence in the final third, and every player of Brentford is back defending in and around their box, and at this moment in time they've done an extremely good job at it, making sure there's bodies in the way of any potential cross, first contacts.
You just wonder how frustrated Mikel Arteta will be. But the game is still locked at 0-0 as we go deeper into the second half, and what his solution to that problem might be. It's fended away by Nkapie, taken down by Yarmouk on halfway. Brentford regain possession once more. Brentford on course for their best ever season. They have more points at this stage than in any other campaign that they've had in the Premier League since being promoted. Keith Andrews is very much full of praise for his team and the way they've had to deal with different types of matches recently, the chaos and the calm. He said you need to show different strengths in these moments. Well, they've had to show different strengths tonight as well. They've shown their attacking prowess, their discipline out of possession, their ability to cause Arsenal issues, and at the moment keep them at bay. I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with the way they've done that. And the Arsenal bench not happy about a foul that goes against Brentford. Brentford furious that the free kick has been given in Arsenal's favour.
Yeah, Jensen's got to be a little bit careful here. Since he's been booked, you could see he was tempted to kick the ball away when Declan Rice was going to take a throw-in just in front of us. And also a little challenge there. He's just got to be careful.
Rice down the left-hand side, cuts it back. It falls to Odegaard. Left-footed shot well over the top of the crossbar. Well, he got right underneath that, did the Arsenal captain, from the left angle of the penalty area, coming onto the ball. It was a little step over from Trossard after a cutback from Declan Rice, who was down the right side of the box. It came beautifully through to Ødegaard. He had lots of time to get hold of that. And he's really misfired.
Yeah, great opportunity there. Great set-up play as well. Declan Rice, instrumental in it. And when it come back, just got to get over the top of that.
Brentford 0, Arsenal 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream the Premier League flexibly with a Now Sports Day or Month membership 18+. Stream via the internet, terms apply.
I might just pop on the pitch in a moment and just check whether Kelleher has still got a pulse there. He is the most relaxed goalkeeper I've ever seen. I thought Dave Seaman was a relaxed goalie, but he is incredible.
Yep. Well, he hasn't actually had a shot to save so far tonight. They haven't had one shot on target, Arsenal, yet. And we've played 58 minutes of this game. And I think if you're listen, he's quite a cool, calm character anyway, but if you're playing behind a defence that hasn't allowed the best team in the land a shot on your goal, and you've nearly played an hour, then no wonder you're relaxed.
Yeah, as I say, he's relaxed in regard to being overworked at the back, but also as well in control of the ball. He's so relaxed. He just sends a message to anyone pressing him and saying there's no point pressing me aggressively, I'm in full control here.
Yeah. Until it goes wrong.
Obviously, until it goes wrong very shortly.
Oh, God. By the way, if it goes wrong now, you know Natalie's going to kill you.
That's what I'm here for.
Ball cleared through the middle of the pitch. Headed down and away by Gabriel. Was a foul there by Igor Thiago, was there? Didn't seem to know too much about it. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal anyway, and we get to the hour mark and it remains 0-0. I suppose Brentford haven't had to worry about cup games or Europe this season, but if they have a strong end to the campaign, they could end up having to worry about it next season, you know, because they're not too far away from that top six, and you know, just Arsenal and Manchester City playing in the Carabao Cup means that another place will come into the league. Obviously there's a huge chance that England will get an extra place because of their performance in European competition, so they'll have 5 Champions League places. So you could end up in a situation where, depending on who is the FA Cup winners, that the top 8 end up in the European competition.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of neutrals who'd like to see Brentford in Europe.
Here's Nkapie towards the far post. It's a header by Madueke, who heads it back across the face of goal. A beautiful cross from almost nothing from Nkapie. Madueke hung in the air and he launched the ball towards the far post. And Arsenal, with their first shot on target, have the breakthrough at Brentford. It's Brentford 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, great play there and a wonderful cross. And Madueke's just had the jump on Rico Henry at the far post, and he hung brilliantly, and he's just caught Kelleher coming. His momentum's coming across the goal, and he was just caught almost flat-footed. And we just saw, just prior to that, Saka just getting warmed up, taking the hot water bottles off that were keeping him warm. So whether he'll come on now or not will be interesting.
It was a brilliant cross from Nkapie, and it was just the way he hung in the air there, Madueke. That was absolutely terrific. And he just guided the ball towards the far post, and it dropped into the net. And Kelleher, who was going one way and then just couldn't shift his weight back the other, couldn't get anywhere near it. Mikel Arteta celebrates. Madueke slides on his knees, and Arsenal, well, they now can stretch their lead at the top of the table if they hold on to this to 6 points.
Well, we just mentioned what teams, champions in waiting, do. You know, they've not played as well as they can, but at this moment in time, on the hour mark, they're 1-0 up, and Brentford have got to chase the game, and that might play well into the hands of Arsenal.
It's a brilliant header from Madueke, and it's his 5th goal of the season. His last goal was against Leeds, direct from a corner, but this is his 5th start in a row. He's been given his head a little bit in the absence of Saka. He's made the most of it. He certainly has. And Arsenal, who had put their foot to the floor in the second half and caused a few more problems for Brentford, have now got a bit of defending to do after taking the lead. Ball in towards the near post. Oh, it's misfielded by Raya. It drops inside the 6-yard box. It's pushed behind and it's out for a corner. But there was panic inside that Arsenal defence this time, as that Coyote throw really unsettled the back line. Raya came but he was coming into a crowd of bodies and he couldn't quite reach it. It ran loose in the 6-yard box and Gabriel hooked it over the top.
Yeah, the angle of these throws make you make a decision, basically, and Raya had to do something about that because it's almost going in the goal.
Jensen to take the corner kick from the near side, the right as Brentford look at it. It's a very congested 6-yard box. They're all in and around the goalkeeper, trying to block him off. It goes in towards the centre of that. It's headed over the top by an Arsenal jersey, and it goes out for another corner kick. And now Brentford just using their set-piece prowess to cause more issues. You can see Stephen Rice, the set-piece coach, just standing on the edge of the technical area, just trying to orchestrate things as Brentford try and put Arsenal under severe pressure away to our left. The Brentford fans behind the goal trying to raise the noise. Matthias Jensen with the right-footed corner towards the far post. King Lewis Potter is there and he's headed wide. Oh, how's he missed?
Wow, incredible. They've just dinked one up to the far post and Potter's sort of pulled off into an acre of space, and it's a really poor miss from where he is. He's gone up, he's tried to put too much power on it. He should have probably took a leaf out of Madueke's book and just helped it back into the far corner. Really poor miss.
Well, I mean, he got isolated at the far post, moved away into space. He had a great sight of the goal and he's misdirected the header, tried too hard to put power behind it. As Stuart said, he's missed the target from about 5 yards out. What a chance for Brentford to get back in. 1-0 to score to Arsenal. 65 gone on Talk Sport. Coyote back to his goalkeeper Kelleher. Kelleher clips it out towards the near side, chested down by Henry. Henry moves forward. Mikkel Damsgaard about to come on for the home team, who trail by a goal to nil. Flick pass from the quarterback position by Yarmouk. A lovely ball out to Wataru, who takes it down beautifully and then moves in field. Left-footed, drills the ball to the other side of the pitch. It's King Lewis Potter with a header back across the face of goal, and Thiago just not really alert enough to get on the end of that, and out comes Raya and clears away. And it remains 1-0 to Arsenal, who have had one shot on target and come up with a goal. 26 touches in the opposition penalty area, an XG of 0.53 today, but they have the opening goal of the game.
Yeah, they certainly have. And just looking at how well Madueke hung there, and if you're coaching the opposite wide player from where the ball's coming in, you always say get in a position where you can score with a header, and he'd done exactly that.
It wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo, but Cristiano Ronaldo does that thing, doesn't he, where he gets up and he just seems to stay there, and it felt a little bit like that.
Yeah, and he's generated good guidance of where he put the ball, but no power, and the goalie probably will be a little bit disappointed. Coming to his left, you've got to put the brakes on quickly and move your feet. He sort of almost stopped and then dived, and he was nowhere near the ball, and it didn't go right in the corner.
Yeah, and we were right behind it, and we could see from the moment that it left his head that it was going in, and Ødegaard has just snatched the ball from Janelt and turned it over on the edge of the area, and he's fed Rice to Gyökeres. Oh, brilliant defending by Coyote, who snatched it off the toes of Gyökeres, who took too long. Here's Madueke into the penalty area, looking for Ødegaard. It's picked off by Janelt once again, and he clears it away. But Brentford are thankful to Coyote, and now they're thankful to Thiago, who's taken the ball away from Mosquera, and he's run to the edge of the box. He's got Gabriel for company. He shoots it right-footed down to the goalkeeper's left, and he makes a save. David Raya, and then it's put out and away by Thiago for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. But two massive incidents there. Thiago with a big chance. Gabriel's defending was excellent because he knew that he wanted to come in on his right foot there, Thiago, so he stayed on that side of the Brazilian striker to force him to try and drill it down low to the goalkeeper's near post. And at the other end, what a fabulous pinch by Coyote off the toes of Gyökeres.
Well, he's come from absolutely nowhere, Coyote, to deal with that. But I've got to say, up the other end as well, as you said, good defending by Gabriel, and the goalkeeper as well, working in tandem.
It was wily Coyote there, wasn't he? Here is Jensen heading the ball on. Declan Rice back to Mosquera.
Are you suggesting that was Acme defending at all there?
That's all, folks. throwing over on the far side, on the halfway line. A couple of substitutions taking place here. Damsgaard, as we mentioned, is going to come on, but so too, as Stuart has already mentioned, he thought this would happen at some point tonight. The return of Bukayo Saka, who we last saw warming up against Leeds United and hasn't really been able to play since then after picking up an injury in that. He's going to come on for the goal scorer Noni Madueke in the next few moments. Here is Sepp van den Berg deep inside his own half. He sends it forward, trying to find King Lewis Potter. Timber got there ahead of him, and then Jensen robbed it back. Forward by Yarmulke to Jensen in a bit of space. Coyote cuts in past the defender, gets to the edge of the box, cuts in again, gets to the edge of the area, tries a shot and hits it against the face of Gabriel, who dives in front of it, heads it out. It's a big block from the big Brazilian, and he celebrates that like he's just scored a goal. Brilliant run from Coyote.
I'll tell you what, so he should defend, celebrate like he's just saved a goal. I think he has. Coyote's made an incredibly mazy run, but what defending that was, you know. Get in front of the ball and get a block, get your body in there. There's been some brilliant defending by both sets of central defenders in the game today.
Madueke off, Saka on. They're changing it a corner here, Arsenal. And Damsgaard and Henderson about to come on. And Henderson coming on for Yarmulke. And King Lewis Potter being replaced by Mikkel Damsgaard, whose last goal was a consolation in the derby with Fulham back in September. Noni Madueke's song is being sung by the Arsenal fans away to our right-hand side to the tune of the conga. Here is the corner to be taken by Jensen away to our left-hand side. Saka is on. Janelt moves in towards the penalty area just to draw his attention as the corner comes in from Jensen towards the near post. Thiago getting across that near post, but Gyökeres heads it away. It hits the arm of Saka, but it was a non-deliberate action, and the ball then spills out for a throw-in on this near side, and Coyote is winding his arms up again.
Yeah, I'd say that they certainly don't feel as though this is a lost game now, Brentford. Still pushing. You get the impression Arsenal that might play into their hands on the counter as well.
Well, he's got a big towel that he's dried the ball with there, Coyote. He's approached the white line of the side of the pitch and launched it into the middle of the penalty area, and it comes to the far post and it's headed home by King Lewis Potter. He doesn't miss this header. It was flicked on at the near post by Ayer and then helped on towards King Lewis Potter, who gets an equaliser for Brentford, and it's nothing more than they deserve, really. Another Coyote catapult into the box, flicked on at the near post, and King Lewis Potter is there to steer it home. It's 1-1.
Well, an absolute super throw once again. An extra set coming into the box, flicked on, textbook, flicked on at the near post. And it was Potter on the move at the far post. A much better header on that occasion that found the roof of the net.
Now it was Van den Berg who got the header across the face of goal. He got high up above Gabriel, and then sneaking round the back of Odegaard was King Lewis Potter to fire his header past David Raya and into the net. And Brentford are causing trouble for the big boys at the G-Tech once again.
And Odegaard's down at the moment, and he's got a problem, I think, with his left knee, because as the ball's gone over his shoulder, he's attempted to have a swing at it with his left foot, and he's kicked Lewis Potter square in the chest, and I think he's probably hurt his knee ligaments on the back of that.
Well, his last goal was in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday, King Lewis Potter, but that's a huge goal, and it does equal now his best return of Premier League goals in a season. It's goal number 5 in total in all competitions. He's replaced by Mikkel Damsgaard, and now Arsenal have got some work to do to try and win this game again. It was fascinating to see the celebrations as well, because Keith Andrews went running down the touchline a couple of steps and jumped on the back of Henderson to celebrate.
While that was happening, Odegaard still down in the 6-yard box receiving treatment.
Well, he's only just back from a 2-game absence, and they will not want to lose their captain Martin Odegaard, who is now back on his feet and just stretching out that left knee.
I think he's flexed that knee. When you look, he's gone for a full swing at it, and if he's kicked through and kicked Lewis Potter's right in the midriff, really.
Well, if he hadn't have scored that would have been a penalty.
Well, yeah, it certainly would have been.
Because he's completely missed the ball and he's kicked the man. So either way, Arsenal were in trouble, but Keane Lewis Potter had already finished it by then. And it's now 1-1 on Talk Sport. And you're listening to Brentford 1, Arsenal 1 on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Well, they're very rarely beaten here, are they?
Yeah, and it's hardly surprising to see on performances like today, you know. Arsenal have not been bad, make no mistake about that, but Brentford very organised, very dogged, defending their box extremely well.
What a goal for Keane Lewis Potter. It was really important, that header, that flick on by Van den Berg, which guided it to the far post, and again he was in that little area, Keane Lewis Potter. He missed one from that sort of distance just moments beforehand. He wasn't going to miss again. Odegaard is back on and moving. He doesn't look particularly comfortable though, Stuart.
No, he doesn't. As I say, if he's tweaked a knee ligament at all, he'll certainly find out about it when he goes to side foot a ball, as I have done in the past.
And you don't want to do any more damage at this stage if there is a problem. Here is Janelt on the halfway line, trying to send it down into the left-hand side, looking for Ouattara, but it comes off Timber and it goes out for a throw. Janelt takes it. Damsgaard's got it now, down by the corner flag, clips it into the box. It's away by Gabriel. 1-1 the score with just over 15 minutes to go on Talk Sport. Back down the left for Rico Henry, fouled by Saka. Free kick to Brentford, a yard in from the left touchline, 20 yards inside opposition territory.
Another opportunity. Ayer going forward, Van den Berg going forward, going to set this up. Jensen looks, Janelt's coming across the take, I think.
Well, the set-piece goals have been a feature of Brentford's season as much as they have been for Arsenal. Keith Andrews very big on those. He was the set-piece coach before he was the head coach. They're quickly taken and given to Janelt, who then fires it into the box. It goes towards the back stick. It's missed by everybody and goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. It just went cross-field into the 18-yard box, bounced once in between Arsenal defenders and then out for a goal kick. Well, there's no doubt that Brentford, I think, have deserved to be on terms with their most illustrious visitors. But Gyökeres is escaping down the left touchline now. He's looking to take on Ayer, plays it against Coyote. Ayer then pops it out, it goes out for a throw. I think they responded to going a goal down really well, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they certainly did. As I say, the heads didn't drop at all. They just went straight after Arsenal, forced a couple of problems from set plays, and that well-worked throw-in has paid dividends.
Here's the throw-in, which is short to Nkapia, then back to Trossard. Now it's on to Gabriel. Down the left it goes again to Trossard, who fires it in towards Rice, but it's a short pass by him, cut out by Damsgaard. Almost got it forward towards Thiago, but Arsenal suffocate with the press again and win it back. They're so good at regaining possession high up inside opposition territory, and they have it once more. This is TalkSport with Gabriel coming forward, and Janelt with a lovely touch, and now Thiago with a forward pass which is a little bit too heavy, which Rice then turned over and sent back down the Arsenal left, and Trossard now is trying to trick his way into the box. He produces across. Saka is at the far post. He gets a first touch on it, but the second touch is one from Dongo Ouattara, and he travels out of the box and manages to clear, but he doesn't reach Jensen. The ball's coming back once again with regularity from Arsenal.
Yeah, that ball just to the far post there, just caught out Henry again. And Saka just couldn't get clarity on the ball.
Saka makes a little dart in from the right-hand side, looking to get in between centre-back and full-back. Didn't quite come off this time, but it's worked to the far touchline instead. Trossard guides it back to Gabriel. 1-1 with 13 to go on TalkSport. If it stays like this, the gap to Manchester City will be just 4 points. Arsenal will play again before Manchester City do. That's because they have moved their game, which was scheduled for Carabao Cup final weekend, into the middle of next week when they play Wolverhampton Wanderers live on Talk Sport. Here is Raya with a chance to kick out towards the near side. Saka heads it back across into the path of Zubamendi, who nods it down the right channel, looking for Timber. Wasn't precise enough. It goes up to Jan Alt. Mosquera leaves a little bit of something on him, and a free kick is given in Jensen's favour, just short of the halfway line. It remains 1-1 on TalkSports. 3 attempts on target for Brentford, just the one for Arsenal so far, and I think that will be a little bit concerning to Mikel Arteta.
I think even more concerning will be the fact that Odegaard's still rubbing the inside of that left knee, and I wonder whether he'll be one of the players that's going to come off shortly. I doubt it, but it would be a concern for me if I was the manager.
You wouldn't take any risks, would you? Calafiori and Martinelli coming on with the strength they've got on the bench. You don't need to gamble.
No, you certainly don't.
Kelleher, from inside his own area, launches the free kick long into the penalty area that Arsenal are defending. Damsgaard keeps it alive. It might come through to Jordan Henderson far side the right. It does. He keeps it alive with a right-footed ball into Damsgaard, who gets away from Gabriel initially, and then he smuggles it out and away for a corner. There might have been an accusation of a handball there.
Yeah, I thought Henderson's done well keeping it alive, put the ball in the box, and it's bounced up. No, there was no handball there. I thought it bounced up. Maybe Damsgaard took a little touch with his hand, but the replay suggested not.
Corner then, far side. Jan Alt taking his time to go and take it over in front of the Brentford fans that are on their feet. They're waving their flags and clapping their hands. They know this could be another special night. Remember, if they were to win tonight, they'd go level on points with Liverpool. Score another 2 goals, win the game, they'll go above Liverpool in the table. Here is the corner kick to be taken far side. Jan Alt has placed it. They're all inside the 6-yard box, the Brentford attackers. There's 1 or 2 on the edge, but everybody's really crammed around the goalkeeper. It's floated into the box, touched by Thiago, comes back towards Van den Berg, and then trying to reach it was Dongo Ouattara, stretching every sinew of his body, but he couldn't connect with a header, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Piero Hincapié is coming on. Trossard is coming... Hincapié is coming off, and so is Trossard coming off, Calafiori and Martinelli coming on. So no Odegaard coming off, he's staying on for now.
Well, good for Arsenal that they deem him still fit enough to carry on. So
well, let's hope he is okay. And it's 1-1 with 10 minutes to go. I do like Calafiori as a footballer. He's really good at getting out and supporting the attack, just like Timber is on the other side. I think Hincapié is sort of a little bit more of an insurance policy. And Calafiori is a terrific advantage. And interestingly, just having a look at it now, he's gone straight over towards that far side to take the throw in deep inside his own territory. And there's a little bit of consternation on the face of the Arsenal gaffer, Mikel Arteta. It's currently Brentford 1, Arsenal 1, and the latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Brentford to win at 11-2, Arsenal to win at 21-10, and the draw now is the favourite at 20-13 on. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, BigGambleAware.org.
Still feel as though we could have a few twists and turns in this game. As yet.
We do like a little twist and a turn, don't we? Yeah. And that's just when we're dancing. Talking of dancing, celebrity couple Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be getting into it on the sports bar. If you want to call them, you can do 03717223344. Ball sent long up towards Thiago for Brentford, who have dragged themselves back into this game. Good header by Henderson to release Ouattara over on the right hand side. Gabriel with a little kick out there. Now he's already been booked, and John Brooks has got a decision to make. The Brentford crowd want him sent off. He is saying that he shouldn't be. The free kick is enough punishment.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a booking on any other occasion apart from if the player's already got a yellow card and the referee...
it was reckless, wasn't it?
It was. He's had a fresh air swing at the ball.
He's completely missed the ball, and his whole leg has come across the body of Ouattara.
So these are the little inconsistencies you want just ironed out in the game, I think.
John Brooks has sent off 3 players in the Premier League before tonight, but he will not be sending off Gabriel for that challenge anyway.
You would seriously ask the question, why is that not a yellow card?
Well, Keith Andrews will be asking that question. In fact, he is asking that question to the 4th official, John Busby, down in front of us. And he's not the only one. Here is the free kick over on the far side. Vitaly Janelt. I wonder if some of the Brentford supporters will call a sports bar to discuss that. Janelt and Jensen standing over it. It's a wide free kick on the right-hand side, given away by Gabriel as Ouattara looked to escape. Didn't get booked for it, but he has given away a free kick. They're crowding the centre of the penalty area once again. Janelt's ball is right under the goalkeeper, and he missed it, and it almost snuck into the far post. And someone, I think maybe Rye, just got a little touch on it. He came out. He didn't look particularly confident. He got something on it, and just enough to steer it round the post.
Yeah, great ball in. It's got curl. It's not particularly high. Ray has come for it and then realised he's not going to get it. He's backpedalled slightly and just got a claw to pull it out the... Yeah,
his arm was almost behind him, wasn't it? And he just sort of managed to just raise it enough to tip it round the post. 84 minutes on the clock. 1-1. Another corner here to be taken by Jensen. And Aya being held inside the box. Raya has gone down. The referee has stopped proceedings before the kick is taken. Because Raya was wrestled to the floor. Gabriel's barking. 17,224 in tonight. 1,725 Arsenal fans here in this little stadium. Was that a reason to stop the game?
He should have stopped the game and booked Raya for diving then. That was pathetic what I've just seen.
But he just fell over. He wasn't being held. Here is the corner to be taken away to our left-hand side. It's a delivery by Jensen towards the far post, headed away by Gabriel, kept alive by Damsgaard. Rico Henry has it now, and he just lobs the ball into the box, away by Gabriel once more. It drops on halfway, and Saka goes up for a header with Jensen. Jensen emerges with the ball initially, then Mosquera runs into Aya. He then gets hold of it. Henderson stops him from getting over the halfway line. Zubimendi then dives in. It's a bit scrappy, but Brentford did brilliantly to keep Arsenal inside their own half there when they were threatening to escape. Henry with a header. Ouattara being pulled back by Timber. He's still got the ball, Ouattara, and he claims that he should have had a free kick. He moans that he didn't get one and gets a yellow card instead.
It's a little bit comical, to be fair. I mean, he's just been booked for that. For me, he was being pulled back. He didn't get the foul. He's frustrated. There's a touch of dissent there, but we've just seen someone getting kicked in the stomach slightly earlier, and there was nothing given.
I'm sure Keith Andrews thinks that's all very even.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
How can you book someone for moaning in that fashion when he was clearly being pulled back, and not book Gabriel for his leg across the body of Ouattara on the other side? Crazy. Anyway, we have a throw-in on this near side, and we have a tense, tight match in the Premier League right at the very end of the game. 4 minutes to go. Manchester United are going to beat Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the Women's Champions League. Turlan, Mallard and Olme with the goals so far tonight in the Spanish capital in the last 16 of the Champions League. Calafiori has it on the halfway for Arsenal. Is there a late winner here for the Gunners? They've pulled out the bag many results this season. They need to pull this one out the bag, otherwise the gap is just going to be 4 tonight. Martinelli down the left-hand side. Into the area he goes. His cross cannons off the defender, and it's cleared away by Janelt, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, Arsenal got to keep cranking up the pressure. Keep foraging down that left-hand side and putting the ball in the box.
They have Wigan at the weekend, that's live on TalkSport. They have Wolves away, that's live on TalkSport. We'll be there when they play Tottenham and Chelsea as well. And then Brighton and Everton upcoming very, very shortly. Here's Janelt on the halfway line, looking to release Thiago. Mosquera is with him for company, but Thiago has escaped and he's running through here. Big moment in the title race, and Mosquera has got back to block Thiago from shooting what would have been a certain goal for Brentford. Brilliant defending for Mosquera. That could be huge for Arsenal.
Well, incredible strength and movement from Thiago. Great set-up play, and then he's just took a split second too long And Mascara's got back and just dealt with it. Well, he's done really well.
Are you saying Mascara got back in a blink of an eye?
Oh, I just set him up for you.
It's because he said mascara instead of mascara. Don't tell me it's terrible. I know it's terrible. So he said it. Coyote to take the throw-in over on the far side. Keith Andrews can't believe that Thiago didn't get that shot away. How did Mascara recover?
I've got to say, we've seen some top-quality defending from both sets of central defenders tonight,
Here's Coyote with another long throw, this time from the right. In towards the near post, didn't get as much distance on that. It drops on the edge of the area after Martinelli attempted to head it away. And now Ouattara gets away from Gyökeres and sends a cross into the near post. It's too close to Raya. And he will immediately distribute upfield towards Martinelli. And Kelleher can't be relaxed here. And he just about heads the ball away from the Brazilian.
Oh, yes, he can.
Yeah. I wasn't relaxed as the ball came towards him, so I don't know how on earth he was. Martinelli bearing down on you at rapid speed, always a little bit of a concern. It's still 1-1 with 90 seconds to go on TalkSport. A throw-in will be taken on the right side by Jurrien Timber for Arsenal. Only minutes to go. Think about all of these teams that have succumbed here so far this season. Aston Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea conceded a last-minute goal to drop points here. Liverpool have been beaten here. Manchester United have been beaten here. I mean, it's a nice place to come, but they don't enjoy themselves when they get down by the banks of the River Thames. It's going to be about 5 minutes of added time when we get to the 90, which are only about 40 seconds away.
I think the narrative at the end of this, if it finishes a draw, will be Arsenal drop points, but in all honesty, it might be a very good point in the scheme of things against a very well-organised, dogged Brentford team.
Well, you say that, but losing ground, the gap's now just 4 points. Well, it encourages Manchester City, that's for sure, doesn't it?
Well, when you say, it depends which way you look at these things. You've just said losing ground. They've gone another point clear of Manchester City.
Yeah, but before the week started, they were 6 points clear. So there's now 4, so that is losing ground.
Well, it depends on your start point.
Here is Calafiori. Well, mine was at the start of the week and yours was at the start of the night. Janelt has it. 5 additional minutes have been allotted. Henry bursting down the left. Brentford think they might be able to win it here. Henry, lung-busting run into opposition territory. Plays it inside the fullback. Ouattara is there. Thiago's coming in. So is Damsgaard. Rice nicks it off his toes. And it's a vital intervention from Declan Rice to get the ball away from Damsgaard and away from a certain moment of real danger for Arsenal.
A brilliant driving run there from Henry, and he's played a brilliant ball inside the fullback. And when it come across the face of the goal, you thought, just go and score, pop it in the goal. And Declan Rice come from absolutely nowhere, akin to Coyote earlier. Once again, the standard of defensive work has been exemplary.
That was absolutely unbelievable. Brilliant, and the desire for Declan Rice to get back there and do it. Brilliant defending from both teams tonight. Here is Damsgaard sending the ball forward into Thiago. He's inside the area, right-footed, lashes it over the bar. What a chance for Brentford to win the game in stoppage time. And Igor Thiago, who's got 17 Premier League goals this season, should have had another.
Well, they've done brilliantly there. A little flick pass over the top of the back line. And Thiago, it was a tired finish. I think he was absolutely sold out from the work that he's done, and he's thought, I'm just going to give it everything I've got, and if that was under the crossbar, the goalie's not stopping it.
Wow. We've had some chances, but Brentford have had more of them. There's no doubt about it. They've had the best of the opportunities. 10 shots, 3 on target, 3 off target so far in the game. I guarantee you their XG will be higher than Arsenal's tonight. That's for sure.
They've certainly worked doggedly as a team, Brentford, I've got to say. Arsenal have played their part in this. And the feature of the game has been some outstanding defensive work by both sets of defenders.
60% possession Arsenal, but 11 shots for the home team, just 6 and only 1 on target, but Timber is steaming through now, and he's been played into the edge of the area. He sent it back for Martinelli, and Kelleher stops him in his tracks. It's a brilliant save by the goalkeeper, who came out at the feet of the Brazilian, made himself huge, and stopped a certain goal.
Well, they have, and within a second, Thiago's attacking Mascara
down the left-hand side. Back to Henry. And then a little Rabona pass by Jensen. That ball's going to go out of play, hopefully, because I don't think I'll get through the next couple of seconds.
Incredible, I've got to say, absolutely incredible stop by the goalkeeper. He's been so relaxed in the game today, but when it was needed, he flew off his line and got a brilliant blocking.
Wow, what a save. What a brilliant save by Kelleher. It's been a terrific game. Brentford deserve everything they're going to get out of this match. They really do. What a terrific football team. And that save, when you see it close up in slow motion, is even better, because it's not stopped by his body. He made himself massive. It's actually stopped by his outstretched left forearm. It's terrific from the Irishman.
It certainly was. There's been probably about 4 or 5 last gasp blocks and saves in the game today that have been the feature of the game. And sometimes we talk about the attacking side of football, but great defensive work needs to be commended as well.
Yep. Well, City's win last night tightened the top end of the Premier League. There was less margin for error, and Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad. And the North London derby is next. The gap will be just 4 points if it remains like this. I don't think we can argue now that there's not a title race. There certainly is one. And Aaron Hickey is going to come on to just try and stiffen things up, because Rico Henry can no longer continue. He's given everything tonight. An excellent performance by him. He started 11 of the last 12 now. He's been replaced by Hickey for the final few seconds of this game. And he will hope to help Brentford see their way to a point here. Brentford have made this place a fortress. Arsenal the best away side in the league, and even they have succumbed to the surrounds of the G-Tech Community Stadium. Hickey forward, up towards Thiago, headed away by Zubimendi, and it's out for a throw-in to Brentford. We've nearly played our 5 added minutes.
Yeah, I don't think either team know what to do at the moment, stick or twist in this game.
Ball sent down the left-hand side for Ouattara. I don't think Brentford ever
You're
twist.
right, I think they're twisting now. They're twisting in the shape of Coyote.
Well, this is it. One last launch into the box. Remember that game against Chelsea where with the last throw of the dice they got an equaliser. Fabio Carvalho scored that night. Is there going to be another late Brentford hero?
This place will go absolutely crazy.
Well, here is Coyote with the ball in his hands, as it has so often been tonight. He's got such a brilliant throw. He launches it in towards a congested penalty area. It's flicked on by Ayer. He drops for Jensen. It's still inside the box, and Raya comes out, grabs the ball and bowls it forward. And now Arsenal might have one last chance, because Rice has picked it up and charged towards halfway. He's cut in and released Urian Timber. Saka has peeled out to the right-hand side, but the ball by Timber is poor. Janolt has got it. He's turned it over, and Ouattara wants it played over the top. He's done just that. Ouattara to the edge of the area. A left-footed shot. He takes a deflection, and Raya has stopped it going out for a corner. That's the end of the game. More heroics. What a brilliant football match. What an absolutely fantastic end to a super contest between two very, very good football teams. The headlines will be about Arsenal dropping points at the bus stop in Hounslow, but Brentford more than played their part in a brilliant game of football. They've caused problems for United, for Liverpool, for Newcastle, for Villa, for Chelsea, and now Arsenal this season. And in doing so, they have halted the biggest one of the lot. The Premier League leaders, the Champions League leaders, the title favourites and the best defence in Europe have been blocked by Brentford and their rookie boss. No wonder the bees are buzzing. They just love making life uncomfortable for the visitors. The song they play at the end, it's called Hard to Beat. Oh yeah, They really are. And a massive night in the title race means a share of the spoils only for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Everybody thought the Premier League script had been written. Arsenal's route to the title was a procession. But Brentford have just torn that up, and we've still got a cliffhanger. Brentford 1, Arsenal 1.
Sam, thank you very much. A breathtaking game of football, end to end, and both matched brilliantly as well. Let's sum it up then with Stuart Pearson. Sam, I'm sure will want to get involved as well. And you know what, Stuart, many people this season have sort of been quite negative about the standards of the Premier League in general, partly because some teams look to be bucking the trend, as we have seen. But my goodness, this was a game of football that showed you this is not a diminished standard of Premier League football. This was an excellent game that highlighted how great the Premier League can be.
It was two teams on form going head to head. The margins between them were minute. Some of the defending, the last gasp defending, was brilliant. I've watched a few weeks of matches and I've criticised the defensive work of players. Both sets of defenders on the pitch today were magnificent, and I've got to commend central defenders of each team. I thought they were fantastic. When people are looking to pull the trigger, there was feet coming in there, blocks coming in. It was just brilliant in that respect. Brentford deserved everything they got. They deserved their point, maybe more. Arsenal, they've come away. Both teams have played their part in this one.
And as Sam was saying, a lot of the headlines might be on Arsenal dropping points in this game. But really, it's not about dropping points in the sense of it is a massive point still to pick up, because it's not easy to come here to the GTEC and come away with all 3 points, as teams have seen this season.
I said before the game, every time Arsenal have dropped points, they've dropped points to teams that have put very good performances on. I would put Brentford's performance in that category as well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic performance, it has to be said, from both teams. But Brentford, who were the underdogs essentially coming into this one, despite the fact they're at home. Oh, I mean, what positives can Keith Andrews take from a game like this going in towards the end of this season? Bear in mind, they are fighting for a European place potentially.
I think every aspect of their play is a plus. Their counter-attack, their goal-scoring threat that they had, their ability to play out from the back was good without risk-taking silly, and their defensive work and how well the team have been coached. You can see that by eye, you know, they're working in unison. So every aspect, every element of their team was on show here today, and was a good 8 out of 10 at least.
We had two headed goals that saw obviously Arsenal go ahead through Noni Madueke, and then Keane Lewis-Potter made up for an earlier header that he missed to equalise for Brentford. Should Arsenal have been down to 10 men though in this game?
Well, it's fair to say Gabriel had been booked in the first half, had a swing at the ball, he's missed the ball, and he's caught Ouattara in the midriff. And to be honest with you, if it was a standalone situation, he would have definitely got a yellow card for that. There's no doubt about that. So the answer to your question is probably yes.
Let's think about how this impacts the title race. Arsenal do go now 4 points clear of Manchester City. Their next game, in terms of the Premier League, is an away trip to... no, I should say they've got the North London derby, haven't they, coming up as well? And they've got the game against Wolves, yes. I should say, as well. Will Manchester City now be licking their lips at the possibility that they are catchable?
I think with history that Pep's got of winning the league from deep lying positions as well as in front, the answer to his question's got to be yes. I still think they've got it all on to do. This is a good Arsenal team, a good Arsenal squad.
I asked you about the positives that Keith Andrews can take from this. What about Mikel Arteta then? Bear in mind, as I said, really the pressure was on them to get another 3 points to make it 6 points clear of City.
Well, what I would say, the positives from Arsenal, they've come here, they've got a point at a very tough place. Sam mentioned earlier all the teams that have come here and come away with nothing. Very, very good sides. They've not done that, Arsenal. They've stayed in the game brilliantly. They're a dogged team. They've had to defend well to keep that unbeaten sort of performance intact. But where they will probably be slightly disappointed, the downside of that is probably their attacking play and not being able to open up Brentford enough and get enough strikes on goal.
The Brentford players just making their way off the pitch right now, and it's fair to say there's a fair few smiles in that team as well, as they're delighted with the point that they have picked up in this game, coming from behind to do so. It's time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here for It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
So, Stuart, who are you going to pick as your hero for this one? I imagine it's got to be a defender, no?
In all honesty, I thought Gabriel was outstanding for Arsenal at the back. I thought Aya was outstanding, but I'm going to give it a Vandenberg. Okay. I think he done very little wrong in the game today. I thought he was part of that defensive partnership that kept Arsenal at bay, and not many teams will do that.
Sepp Vandenberg then getting the Man of the Match award, and don't forget, of course, he had the flick on that led to Keane Lewis-Potter scoring that equaliser. So he was our Here for It hero, Man of the Match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here for It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
So it has been an eventful game here in West London, where both teams, come away with a point in this game. Arsenal taking the lead before Brentford equalised to ensure they went unbeaten in this game, and it's all set us up for a thrilling end to the season. We've got more live football for you this weekend as we bring you 10 commentaries in the FA Cup fourth round. It all kicks off with Hull against Chelsea tomorrow evening, as well as Manchester City versus Leicester from the WSL. That's over on TalkSport 2. Don't forget, you get your calls into the lads on the sports bar. Jamie O'Hara and JC Cundy are ready for you. Arsenal fans, I'm sure you have plenty to say on that performance where you were outshot by the home side. 03717 223344. That's the number to call them on. And I'm sure Brentford fans might want to also be vocal about potentially booking a place to Europe come the end of this season. Arsenal leave the G-Tech with just 1 point after Keane Lewis-Potter waved his magic wand to grab a late equaliser for Brentford. But have those drop points for the Gunners handed the incentive to Manchester City in the title race? My thanks to Sam and to Stu. It's finished here after a pulsating game. Brentford 1, Arsenal 1.
Kickoff on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
Oh, he's really opened up the Sun newspaper there, Jim.
No question, Clive. Straight in the middle and right into the free pull-out goals.
Goals, yes. The ultimate football coverage with the best expert writers. In-depth tactical analysis. Unrivaled coverage from every league and all the latest football action.
Think you've said it all there, Clive.
Sorry, Jim.
Not to worry, I was reading my copy of Goals anyway.
Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a tree, playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then...
Substitution.
His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub, your bet simply rolls onto the player coming on. Playing a different league with Betfair.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18plusgambleaware.org.
It's another day at Screwfix, and so Mo Farah is still getting to grips with things.
So, Mo, with Sprint Delivery, we get the order to them in as little as 20 minutes. Okay? Mo?
Mo?
Done. He was on the 18th floor.
Nice work. But, you know we use delivery riders, right?
Oh, now you tell me.
Sprint it in as little as 20 minutes. Screwfix. No stopping you. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the pub and grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Discover the world of Dobble, back in McDonald's Happy Meal. Race through the worlds of music, sports, space and more. How quickly can your little one spot the match? Dobble's bursting with fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 5th of March 2026, from 11am. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Double range comprises toys only, while stocks last.
Kickoff live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream a massive month of sport this February on Sky Sports with a Now Month membership. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Talk Sport.
Good evening with your sports headlines. I'm Max Scott. Another massive night in the title race as Arsenal dropped points again, drawing 1-1 with Brentford. The Gunners took the lead, but Keith Andrews' side long throw-ins proved deadly yet again.
Launched it into the middle of the penalty area and it comes to the far post and it's headed home by Keane Lewis Potter. He doesn't miss this header. It was flicked on at the near post by Ayer and then helped on towards Keane Lewis Potter, who gets an equaliser for Brentford.
Manchester City are now just 4 points adrift of the league leaders. Elsewhere, Thomas Tuchel's been speaking to TalkSport about his New England contract, which will see him manage the nation till the 2028 Euros. We asked whether he'd been approached by any domestic clubs.
I can just tell you that I was fully committed to the idea of staying, and the FA was fully committed. So if I'm ever tempted to go back to club football, it's not in the next 2.5 years.
He's been speaking to us at the UEFA Nations League draw. England have been drawn with Spain, Croatia and the Czech Republic in League A. But with Kobbie Mainoo, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw all fit and firing for United, did they have a shot at selection for this summer's World Cup?
They were always in the picture, but they are more so now in the picture. I guess that they were in the starting lineup, and I guessed right. That's why I wanted to see them. I wanted to see them live. I'm very happy that they are in a good run of form, in good shape.
And in other international news, it looks like there's going to be no Harvey McBarnes. Scotland manager Steve Clarke says Barnes is going to concentrate on trying to play for England.
Talk Sport News.
A paedophile nursery worker described by a judge as wicked, perverse and depraved has been jailed for 18 years, and Met Office yellow warnings for snow and ice have come into force in the north of the UK.
Talk Sport weather with QuickFit. With expert technicians in all our centres across the country, we'll keep your car's inbuilt safety tech in top condition this winter. Book today at quickfit.com.
Hill snow moving south overnight with clearer spells developing and wintry showers in the north. Widespread frost and icy patches developing there as well. Cloudy in the south with the odd heavy shower likely.
On DAB, on the app, and on your smart TV. Supercharged, super confident, super strength, late night football talk.
You are absolutely deluded.
It's the nation's favourite sports speakeasy, where for some reason, it's always your round. The Sports Bar with Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara on Talk Sport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. I'm Jamie O'Hara. Him over there is Jason Gundy.
Up the bees.
Up the bees. Up the bees. Title race is well and truly wide open. A dull performance from Arsenal, bullied by Brentford tonight. Now there's only 4 points between them and Manchester City. Should have been down to 10 men as well. Got away with it. Brentford, though, you lot are flying under Keith Andrews. What a job he's done. Fair play to him. Big Angie's back in our lives with a bang as well. He's been talking about the mighty Spurs, the huge club that Spurs are. And Thomas Tuchel's committed himself to England. United fans, bit of a slap in the face, but I don't know. It's up to you. Valentine's Day around the corner. We're here to help. Going to give you some advice later on in the show. But get involved in the show. It's a big night. Arsenal flopped it. 03 717 22 33 44. Hello, mate.
Hello, matey.
How are you?
I'm all good in the hood, thank you very much.
Big night. Big night.
Say again?
It's a big night tonight.
Big night. Look, if Arsenal win this title, I still think they will.
Do you still think they're going to win it?
I still think they're going to win it, but it just goes to show that you've got to go and win it. No one's going to give you it. And Brentford, I mean, they outplayed Arsenal tonight. They were outstanding. Keith Andrews is not going to get enough credit, I don't think, because he's not going to win Manager of the Year, because whoever wins the title, if Arteta does, he probably does and probably deserves it. But there needs to be a special mention for Keith Andrews right now about what he has done with that team and how dangerous they are, how well organised, how stubborn, how horrible they are to play against. Yeah. They are a little bit like Arsenal, actually, the way they defend. You know, the way they get bodies behind the ball, the way they throw bodies in there.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant Premier League game, and I've been critical, as I think you have as well. It's not been vintage the last couple of seasons, but tonight's game, it had a lot. It had a huge amount, obviously with so much riding on it, but also I thought Brentford outplayed the champions-elect. I thought they were excellent, Brentford.
I thought Arsenal were terrible.
They were pretty average, weren't they? No, they're pretty. They were, and the Arsenal fans leaving the ground now will come away saying that's not a Premier League winning performance, and it wasn't. It was. You can't dress it up, pretend it was. But you've got to. On the caveat to that is you've got to say, what about the opposition? And I thought Brentford, if there was any side, once it went to 1-1, there was only one side looked more likely to score the winner. And it weren't Arsenal. I know they had that great chance towards the end. Keller's made a brilliant save down to his left. But the more likely of the two sides was Brentford. They were, honestly, that Thiago up top, mate, he's such a handful. He's
a throwback.
He is a throwback, but he's also got a bit about him as well.
Yeah.
He had that great chance, the Mosquera challenge. Wow, I mean was Mosquera, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Mosquera. Yeah, great time.
Yeah, what a challenge. By the way, Gabriel, he's a lucky boy to stand a pitch. He's a lucky boy. Now, is it a guaranteed yellow? Probably not. If he'd give a yellow, would you be surprised? No. The fact he didn't give it, you can go fair enough. But it's on the cut. It's right on the cusp of a second yellow.
Yeah.
Probably a fair result. I thought Brentford were the better side. I thought they outplayed Arsenal tonight. They kind of bullied Arsenal tonight, and you don't ever see Arsenal get bullied. They bullied Arsenal.
I feel like you're being very generous to Arsenal right now. I feel like you're giving them more credit than I think they deserve.
What have I said that gives them credit?
Well, they were garbage tonight. You can't get away from the fact that Arsenal were terrible.
Yeah, they weren't great. No, I'll give you that.
They've been great for weeks.
No, they weren't great.
They've been great.
No, that's fair, but
they score set pieces, all right? And, they've had a couple of decent results here and there, but, I know they're at the top of the table, but in terms of performances from a championship-winning team, I'm not convinced, mate. I'm not convinced. I watched Man City last night against Fulham, right? Yep. Watched them against Liverpool. That's a massive result. They go play Fulham, wipe them.
What have I said? I think I've been pretty generous.
I was expecting a bit more like.
Go on, you be me. You be me now.
I don't know if I want to be you, mate.
Just for 10 seconds. Imagine being me for 10 seconds.
No, but
I'll tell you what I'll do. 30 seconds, be me.
I don't know if I can. You won't sit still.
No, I don't sit still.
You won't sit still.
No. Go on, look it up. Go on. I think, from an honest opinion, I think I've summed it up pretty well. Brentford outplayed them. I said that. They've outplayed them. Arsenal were not at it. They weren't. And when you go away to a side like that, I've seen my side concede from that set, that identical set piece. I think Liverpool conceded almost an identical one as well. I'm looking at my producer Ryan's a Liverpool fan. That set piece where the ball goes into that near post, flicks on, far post header. Yeah. We conceded almost an identical goal. And set piece FC didn't deal with it. And Brentford thoroughly deserved.
They're not cringe FC tonight, they're set piece FC. What are they?
Cringe and win set piece FC.
That's what they are. Cringe and win set piece FC. Got outplayed by Brentford.
Not outplayed by Brentford. Yeah, the bees. Up the bees. The bees have given us something to talk about. I mean, You know, the vast majority.
I know, but you know what? I was speaking to the boys in the office. I was speaking to people over the last few days. And, you know, talking about that game tonight. And a lot of Arsenal fans were like, we'll win this game. We'll win this game. No, we'll win this game. Everyone out in the office, we'll win this game.
Do you know what, Joe?
Man, I was like, that is a tough game. Brentford away is a tough game.
But you're never going to win the Premier League easily. Very few teams do. I remember when we first won it, we had to go away to, I'm pretty sure it was Blackburn, Chelsea fans remind me, right? It was pretty sure. And they kicked us all over the pitch, kicked us everywhere. And I think Robin scored a goal, right? And we won it 1-0. And it wasn't a great performance. Might have been Joe Cole, and might have had an assist, or something like that. But it wasn't a great game at all. We come away with 3 points. No one's ever going to remember the game. No one's going to watch those highlights back. It's one of those for Arsenal. When you go 1-0 up in a game like that, title-winning teams tend to set their noses in front and stay in front. And they didn't.
I know a lot this
and they
season,
didn't.
Arsenal.
They have. But that's one of those games. If they come away from that Arsenal, they play like that and they win that 1-0, 2-1, whatever it is, right? We all come away going, didn't play well but won. Now we're going away, didn't play well but drew. Now City are going, okay, the door is open. It's ajar. The door is turned into a jar. And now we've got a title chase. I still think Arsenal are the best side. I still think Arsenal win it. But I'm not as convinced as I was after that performance.
All right, let's go to Lorraine, who's an Arsenal fan. All right, Lorraine?
All right, Lorraine?
All right, Jamie. All right, Jason.
All right, Lorraine.
What happened?
Well, what happened was we didn't turn up for a start, and Brentford, give them all the credit, they're a hard team to play against, especially at home, right?
Yeah.
And it's still in our hands, and like Jason said, titles ain't won easy. And we've done brilliant. Whatever happens, we've done brilliant this season.
No, what do you mean, whatever happens? You've got to win it. No, you can't come on and say whatever happens. You've got to win it.
Lorraine, that's not...
That's not going to wash.
Okay, well, we will win it, but it ain't going to be easy, you know. Yeah. We will win. But Jamie, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
Right. You lot are asking for Pochettino to come back to your Spurs. Why would Pochettino want to come back to a team that's going to get relegated?
Good team in the Championship, though, Lorraine. Good ground, good team. You know, don't knock it.
Jamie,
don't knock it. You know.
I'm knocking Spurs, mate. Even my dad, he used his teams, Leyton Orient and West Ham, right?
Listen, don't you worry about us, Lorraine. Listen, you. Hey, listen, don't you worry about us. Worry about yourselves, all right? We got our own problems. We know that. Don't worry about yourselves. Yeah, you're going to bottle it because it comes to the Championship rounds. This is what Arsenal do. They flop.
No.
You've done it every season for the last 3 seasons. And it already looks like you're doing it again. Because when the going gets tough, you don't get going.
Jamie, we've got more chance of winning stuff than Tottenham Hotspur. You'll be playing every Tuesday at Stoke in the rain and wind.
It's just who we are, mate.
Lorraine, he's got a point. Why are you talking about Spurs? Let's talk about your mob.
My mob?
Yeah.
Right, my mob, up till now, have done okay.
Yeah. Who's that?
Right?
Who's that in the background?
Who's that, Lorraine? Who's that?
Dad, hang on, Jamie.
Is that your dad?
Dad?
It's not your dad.
Dad, he wants to talk to you.
Go on, what's your dad
name?
name?
Come on, Jamie, here he is.
All right, Dad.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
You ain't going to like this, Jamie. I think you have a two-faced... What's it?
Careful, you. Careful, you.
No.
Don't get banned.
Dad, every manager off that you've had. Everyone.
Why are you talking about Spurs? You're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
You're an Arsenal fan.
They're crap.
Dad,
used to support them.
Dad, what do you mean you used to support them?
I used to. That was my third team I had. I'd go...
What do you mean third team?
Leyton Orient, West Ham or Tottenham. And I won't go to Tottenham now. There were 3 teams.
Dad, what do you mean third team? Who's your first team?
My first team's Leyton Orient. I've been then since I was 6 years old.
Who's your second team?
West Ham, because I'm an East Londoner.
Who's your third team?
Tottenham, but they ain't no more.
Who's your fourth team?
Who's your fourth team?
I ain't got one.
You've got enough.
I hate Arsenal. I can't stand them. I love it when they play Spurs. And sometimes I support Spurs. But you've got through something like 15 managers.
Hold on. Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to step in, right? What are you doing? What are you guys up to? What's happened?
Well, Lorraine's obviously the Arsenal fan. I thought the dad was going to be an Arsenal fan, but he ain't. He's a West Ham fan.
What are you and your daughter Lorraine up to?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
With you, can I just explain something? I looked you both up. Now, Jason, you played your retiring games at Tottenham, and yet you slag them off all the time. Jeremy spent half his life on loan at Tottenham, and he slags them off. Why?
I don't slag them off.
What? Oh, you do.
You ain't slagged them off. You slagged them when you said they're fresh the other night.
Dad, listen, Dad. I don't like Spurs, mate. I like Spurs as much as Spurs like Chelsea, all right?
Well, that's it. And
you're better than that. Yeah. It felt like we were going to end up there at some stage, didn't it? There was a lot of emotion knocking about, and it felt like it was going to spill over. Spill. There was a bit of spillage.
Yeah. Let's go to Steve, who's a Brentford fan. Steve.
All right, Steve-o.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, Steve-o, up the bees.
Yeah, that's right, up the bees. What was that last call about? It's like the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. What's it got to do with the game tonight?
I know. Well, I thought there was Arsenal fans. Lorraine was. I thought
well, there
might
you
be,
go. I don't know where it was going, mate. Anyway, what a performance by Brentford tonight.
Outplayed them, Steve-o. Outplayed them.
Yeah, go on.
Outplayed them.
Well, we played really, really well. I was at the game at Highbury in December, and Pete Andrews has taken this team to another level from the games we were losing in December. We lost to Tottenham, we lost to Arsenal. I was at the game at Chelsea where we actually did Chelsea. I know Jason was at that game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You should have got something out of the game. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
We are looking at seriously a European place for the first time in the club's history. And this is, I've got to say, amazing for a club of Brentford stature. We've been in the Premier League for 5 years. This is just extraordinary stuff.
No, Spurs took the wrong bloke from Brentford.
We played so well tonight.
Yeah, totally agree.
No,
you were the better side.
You
were the better side tonight.
Some great chances. Great chances.
Well,
good team.
At the end, he put that, when the ball went over the bar right in the last 2 minutes from the end of time, it was just a terrific chance. And, he's the sort of player that can put that top left corner. It could have been 2-1 to Brentford. So Arsenal come out this saying, well, actually, boys, we've got a lucky point.
Well, you can't. All right, so 2 calls, 2 F-bombs, 2 dumps. Come on, guys.
The sports bar.
I know, I understand, I get it, it's emotional, but he actually sounded quite controlled.
Yeah, just drop them every now and then.
You can't do that, you're going to get...
Let's go to James, who's an Arsenal fan. James,
don't make it a hat-trick of F-bombs, please, mate.
James?
All right.
Hello, is that me?
That's you,
Jimbo.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
How you feeling?
Yeah. So I think it's a good draw away from home. I was just looking at how many draws the Invincibles did when they won the league, which was 12 actually, and Arsenal only won.
You're looking at the Invincibles.
That's fair enough. He's looking at the draws.
I'm just comparing the last time Arsenal won the league, and then I was looking at Man City. Because they've won the league with only 2 draws, but we're closer to them than we are to the other end, which is an invincible team. And also, it's like, every time Arsenal don't do well, it's like, oh, they're absolutely terrible. But so what do people expect? Them to just win the league by like 15, 20 points above Man City?
No, but ridiculous. It's getting to that time of the season where we've seen in the past, Liverpool, Man City, they step on the gas. They have the championship rounds in the bag. And this is what I've said, when it gets to this time of the year, let's see what Arsenal are about. Have you got the minerals? Tonight,
this Arsenal team to Liverpool and Man City. This team haven't won the league.
Exactly. That's where my question is. Have you got the minerals to win it?
I can't answer that. I personally betted against them at the beginning of the season. And so I'm very happy they are where they are.
Who did you bet on?
I didn't. Who did I bet on? Man City, I think it was.
Hold on, you're an Arsenal fan, and you bet on Man City to win the league?
Well, I know an Arsenal fan who bets on Spurs every week.
No, but I don't care about him. I'm asking you. You bet on Man City to beat Arsenal to the title.
I bet Arsenal to win some cups, but I didn't bet them to win the league. That's all it was.
You're a disgrace.
Why is it
Because of past performances.
He's edging his bets.
We can't come here and have an opinion about Arsenal, you know.
He's edging his bets.
Winning the league when he bet on Man City to win.
All you're doing, though...
Betting completely... It's not that I don't support Arsenal. I'm here backing them and saying
George,
they did a good job and it's a good ball away from home.
All Jimbo's doing is edging his bets.
No, it's disgusting. That goes down to the last game of the season.
Okay, good question. Good question.
And I don't know how much you put on, James, but you put on a...
Let's say he's going to win a cup.
You're going to win some money. Goes down to the last day of the season. Man City or Arsenal, either you're going to get a couple of grand in your pocket or however much you put on, or Arsenal win the league.
Yeah.
I'd like for Arsenal to win the league. I don't need the money. Don't need the league.
What about if you're winning 10 grand?
Sorry?
What about if you win?
Honestly, I hardly ever bet, and I don't need money.
No, don't care.
Nothing else that day.
No, but there comes a point, right? So let me tell you now. 10 grand. Arsenal win the title, lose it, but you get 10 grand. Arsenal
I need a lot more money than that right now, mate. So
okay, we'll get there.
Difference to me, to be honest with you.
100 grand.
100 grand, yeah, that's going to make a difference.
Take long,
There's always a number. There's always a number.
We're always going to get there. Everyone's got a number.
That's why you're a disgrace. That is why you're a disgrace.
You know what, Giza? I used to love football. I used to love watching football, but it's not the same for me anymore. I love playing football more than I love watching football.
Who'd you play for?
Hendon FC, a long time ago.
Team, mate.
Hendon, all right.
I heard about them, Hendon FC.
I played against them.
Mate, they had a player called George. Good player. Could have made it.
James, listen.
Cheers, Jimbo.
James, thanks for your call. Loads to go at. Got the Arsenal fans phoning in now. One question I do want to ask Arsenal fans. We're going to talk about, obviously, the title race. Eze tonight. He's a bit of an issue for them.
He is an issue for them. Let's go to the break and we'll have a chat about it. But he's not really an Arteta type player. He's not. He's a little bit out of possession. He's a bit of a luxury. And also don't have luxury players like that out of possession.
All right, loads to go. Arsenal fans, Brentford fans want to hear from you. 03 717 22 33
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at TalkSportBet.com. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
You know what I love about Eurostar? I can change my ticket up to an hour before departure. I was supposed to get the 6 a.m. train, but when I got home at 3 a.m., I thought, hey, what's the rush? So I switched it to 2 p.m. and now I'm traveling fresh as a daisy.
Drink, monsieur?
Coffee, please.
Eurostar. Together, we go further. Changes limited to date and time. Pay ticket price difference subject to availability. Policy varies by class of travel. See Eurostar.com.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for exclusive offers and bonuses. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire, Yorkshire, Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month. Right through February, get 10 litre Dulux Trade Vinyl Matte White and Pure Brilliant White paint for only £44 each. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals through February with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Love that feeling when a game just clicks? At Virgin Bet, you'll find all your favourites in one place. Classic casino games and hundreds of the most exciting slots. And it's a good bet you'll love our new member welcome offer. Just join, wager at least £10 on slots within 7 days of signing up and get 100 free spins to get you started. Virgin Bet, a good bet. Use free spins on selected games in 7 days. Value varies. Terms and exclusions apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. GambleAware.org.
On your marks. Get set. Go hybrid. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. More oomph than a Friday feeling. And smoother than your last online date. More confidence. More go. In a new hybrid engine. With 0% APR representative over 24 months. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. Go on. Visit your local Toyota centre. Price on £21,595. Available on Toyota PCP when financed through Toyota Financial Services by 31st March 2026. Optional final payment indemnities may be required. See website conditions apply.
Claim approved. Direct Line's ready to send my new laptop within 2 hours. That's how it's done. Imagine if everything was that easy. Like teaching little Johnny to play his recorder. Oh my. Oh, he's a musical genius.
Direct Line. That's how it's done.
Theft and accidental loss claims up to £3,000. Cover limits apply. Personal possessions cover needed for items outside the home.
Hello, if there's anyone listening, you should know. Cigarette butts are litter. Every day, thousands, millions are dropped on the floor and people don't actually realise that is littering. The duck is not happy. It wants you to bin your butts. Please, for the love of... bin your butts!
Cigarette butts are rubbish. If you smoke, bin your butts. Keep Britain tidy.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus. GambleAware.org.
Destination Wembley.
Oh yes! He's done it again!
The road to the FA Cup on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
And it's heart in mouth time.
Witness the thrills, the spills, and the silky sweet skills.
What a way to do it!
It's the road to the FA Cup on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
The nation's favourite notorious nightcap, football fans and free nuts at the Sports Bar.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport. Me, Jamie Hyde, Jason Cundy. You're going to hear from Mikel Arteta after they dropped points tonight at the G-Tech. Let's have a listen to how that 1-1 draw sounded right here on TalkSport.
Manchester City's late surge is raising the hairs on the back of Mikel Arteta's neck. He can feel the presence of his old boss. Thiago is there, what a save by Raya! Down to his left, brilliant agility to keep that out. Towards the far post, it's a header by Madueke, who heads it back across the face of goal. And Arsenal with their first shot on target have the breakthrough at Brentford. It's Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Launched it into the middle of the penalty area and it comes to the far post and it's headed home by Keane Lewis Potter. He doesn't miss this header and Keane Lewis Potter is there to steer it home. It's 1-1. Thiago is inside the area, right-footed, lashes it over the bar. Should have had another. What an absolutely fantastic end to a super contest. The headlines will be about Arsenal dropping points at the bus stop in Hounslow. Brentford 1, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, massive result for Brentford. Disappointing one for Arsenal. Let's go to George. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, George.
All right, Georgie.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
All right, George. You been at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game. Just cycled back, and yeah, it's just miserable.
What do you mean cycled back? What do you mean? Sorry, would you say cycled back?
Cycled on a bicycle.
No, you don't live in North London?
No, I live in West London.
How far's the ride?
Oh, 5 miles, 5.3 miles probably.
So you're home now?
Would you get on a line bike or something? Or you take your own bike?
Line bike. Other bikes can be used, but line bike, and just got home.
Yeah, it's not really cycling that though, is it? It's like an Uber. I'll get in a taxi.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, let's agree to do
anyway, you're home safe and sound. That's the good news.
I am. I'm outside home. I don't want to wake up my baby, but yeah. I mean, basically, we've been doing this for weeks upon weeks, just creating zero chances, no energy, no transitions, no exciting football, and we're going to get found out. We have been found out, and unless we change, and I thought losing to United was going to be that change, finally taking off the handbrake. but it's the same again, and it's just going to keep on happening. And City getting back to winning ways, it's scary to look at now. But yeah, there's just...
You worried? You worried?
Yeah, very worried. I think the irony is, I think Arteta is one of the best managers to grace the Premier League for a long time. I think if anyone can, and I just think we just need to play...
Sorry, say that again. What did you just say that? Arteta's one of the greatest managers to ever come into the Premier League?
Yeah, can you not hear this evening?
But what are you on about? He ain't won nothing.
No, but, he's a young manager. Wenger came second 3 years on the trot, and then he won the league. You got to give these guys time. I think...
You just said you've been found out.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you say that Arteta's one of the greatest managers to grace the Premier League, or recent? I missed what you said. What did you say?
I said Arteta is one of the best managers. Yeah. He's come into a club. Yeah. I don't know which one of you are talking, but one of you's a Tottenham fan.
No, go on, I want to know what you said.
He's come into the club. He's changed the culture of the club from something which was...
Yeah, listen, just say what you said.
Well, I can't remember what I said now.
I can't remember what you said. You said it. Did you say he's one of the greatest managers to grace the Premier League?
Yes, I did. What?
One of the greatest. One of the greatest.
Yeah.
To grace the Premier League.
Yeah. Shall I say it again and then you question me whether I said it again?
Yeah. Do it. Say it.
Yeah. He's one of the greatest managers.
No, that's not what you said.
The Premier League.
You said managers. Anyway, let's get away from that because...
I want to say it again.
Listen, Georgie wants to... Because on one sense you're saying he's one of the greatest managers in the Premier League.
To grace
the Premier League. And then you're saying you've been found out.
No, I'm saying that the strategy that we've had so far in terms of the way that we're playing the game, in terms of the inverted left back, inverted right back, in terms of, chucking as many players into the attacking zones as possible, right wing, left-footed, left wing, right-footed. It's what it is. It's got us to the top of the league. It's not creating the chances anymore. It's not creating the shots on goal. We need to change that strategy. A great manager can see a problem.
But you just say he's one of the greatest.
Do you think he can change it?
Gee, yeah, I think he can, and I think we can. And whoever keeps saying, I said he's one of the greatest, that is what I said. So you can keep saying that time and time and time again. The answer will always be yes. I did say that.
What if he doesn't win it this year?
If he doesn't win it this year...
Will you retract that statement?
I'll come back on
George,
the show.
George, wait there because we've got to go to the G-Tech. Keith Andrews is with Sam Matterface.
Keith, the hard-fire song that blasts out the end of the game is called Hard to Beat, and you certainly have been over the course of the season here. Many have found that. Where does that performance against Arsenal rank?
Yeah, I rate them extremely high. I've got the utmost respect for Mikel, the way he sets the team up. I've watched a lot of Arsenal down through the years. I've watched a lot of them obviously in the build-up to this game, and I haven't seen many teams play like that against Arsenal.
How much easier would it have been for you to attack them in the last few minutes of the game had Gabriel been sent off for what could have been a second yellow card? What did you think?
To attack them without one of the best defenders in the Premier League would have been a little easier. I think it's a second yellow. I think it's pretty blatant. Disappointed with the decision clearly, because that would have given us whatever it was, 16, 17 minutes maybe playing against 10 men.
Did you get an explanation as to why it wasn't a second yellow?
Yeah, I asked, but I have to be honest, I wasn't listening particularly intently. I just felt it was a poor decision really.
Defensively, some heroic performances. Your goalkeeper makes a brilliant save as well from Martinelli. How impressed are you that you've managed to shut out a team that are the second top goal scorers and restrict them to very few opportunities?
Yeah, I think that was the only real one where we got a little bit dragged into positions where we weren't quite set. I don't remember exactly what was happening before that because there was a lot going on, but I thought we defended brilliantly. Whether we pressed aggressively high and we dropped back in to deny space, compactness, the aggression, the intent, constantly communicating, stopping some pretty special players, because that's what they have. So to restrict them to very few opportunities, I think it was 2 on target, is a very, very good defensive display.
You've got an amazing record here. You've got an amazing set of results here against top teams. Not many escape here taking it even a point, let alone 3. What's the recipe for success with that? And are you surprised about how much buy-in you've got from your players? Because it all looks very together.
I think it is, yeah. We've grown as the season's gone on. Obviously, I said in the very first press conference I wanted us to be relentless with and without the ball. I think, again, we've grown that as the season's gone on. Ultimately, I want us to be horrible to play against. I want our fans to enjoy watching our team. I want it to be a team that I would like watching, and I would love to come and watch every Saturday or Thursday evening. I just like us watching. I like what we are, I like what we represent, and I want to keep pushing that.
Well, you say you want to be horrible to play against. Mikel Arteta said it was like going into a washing machine, so I think you might have achieved that goal. You're into the top 7 on merit. What would it mean for you to lead this team into Europe?
Yeah, it would mean a lot, obviously. We've a long way to go. You know, we've run a really good run. We discussed the last 10 games before this game and how that would look compared to Arsenal. We were right up there, points tally, performances, set the bar really high. Like I said, we've continued to grow as the season's gone on. There's another 12 left, and I'd love just to push to another level.
Thanks for joining us live. We'll see you on Monday for another spin cycle.
Yeah, thank you.
Keith.
So Matt Face there with Keith Andrews. What a job he's done, I have to say. Unbelievable stuff.
Joey, he really is. He has stunned me, and I think a lot of people, how brilliant he has been.
Yeah.
And he's been around football. Everyone in football's been around all their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know him.
Yeah.
Teach sport.
Good player, no?
He's a very humble, well-spoken, very well-mannered guy.
Feels like he's got something about him, though. Got an edge.
But when you see his team play, and I like the fact that he said we want to be horrible players. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to be that horrible, because he was that kind of midfielder, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was a horrible player. You played against him, right?
Yeah.
He must have been horrible to play against, because he'd stick his foot in.
Yeah.
He was wholehearted, full of energy, stick his foot in, give everything for the cause.
Yeah.
His team reflects him
how he
as a
played.
player. And I've got to tell you, mate, he won't win Manager of the Year, but he should be in the conversation.
Yeah, if they carry on doing what they're doing, for sure. Let's go to Heathrow. Rich, the Arsenal fan. All right, Rich?
All right, Rich.
How are you, boys? All right?
All right, matey. How you feeling?
Rich, you sound a bit unhappy, mate.
No, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm unhappy that you lot keep, like you're saying, we've got points. Or, look, we've got another point. We're 4 points clear. Right? I think we've got Wolves to play in about 3 or 4 days' time. If we beat Wolves, which we should do, we'll be 7 points clear, and then it's catch up again. I am 1,000,000,000% certain we will win the league. And all this business about being worried about, I mean, that last bloke, or George, no wonder he cycles there. Anyone that's not confident we're going to win the league shouldn't support Arsenal. We are going to win the league, and it's not because.
It's getting a bit iffy though, mate.
A bit iffy.
It's getting a bit nervy.
Look, you two, when are you ever right? And
it's been known to be right quite a lot.
It's a long time since I spoke to you.
Where you been?
Once again, Chelsea got a new manager. Mm-hmm. You're looking for another manager, right?
Just say, and you're going to bottle the Premier League like you always do.
Well, how much do you want to have with me? If you're that confident about City, pull it up, son. I have it with you.
Rich.
Yeah.
You sound a bit worried, and when you refer to Chelsea,
I'm not worried, Jason. I'm certainly not worried.
No, I'm just saying you sound it. You might not be, but you sound it. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably wrong, right? I'm probably wrong.
I'm not worried. No, at all.
Just say you sound it. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
No, well, you can sound like you two sound sensible, but
I think you got to win the title, right? I hope I'm wrong, but I've said that.
Thank you.
Right now, you ain't got nothing for me. I think you're going to win it. But when you refer to Chelsea, please say Club World Champions.
Club World Champions and European Champions, and it sticks in my throat. Yeah. I'd rather win the Champions League than the Premier League, because You lot have won it. We've never won it.
Twice.
In my throat. Yeah, you've won it twice. Well done. You won it twice.
When you mention Tottenham, can you say Europa League champions, please?
It's just who we are, mate.
I just can't even... Listen, I can't even mention you lot. I mean, you lot, it's like you just go back.
Mate, see, look, you can't help yourself. You're all right. You're all right doing it.
Now he sounds worried.
Yeah, you know, he's just so bitter.
You were on yesterday saying you'd like to have Harry Redknapp back. You're going back through the twilight zone. You're going backwards, right? Never forward.
Listen,
Arsenal are going to win. Arsenal are going to win the league.
Yeah.
They're also going to win the League Cup. They'll beat City in the League Cup.
Right.
All these other scenarios, right? I've got to say it, and I'll back them. And anyone, you included, that think we're going to bottle it, put it up, and I'll lay you whatever you want.
Well, look, I hope I'm wrong, but I think you're going to win it. I've said it. To be fair, though, I've said it the last 3 seasons, Rich. And you're making me look a bit of a fool, you lot.
Well, listen, if we haven't won it, if we don't won it at the end of the season, I'll come back on, and you lot can give it to me big time.
Don't worry about that, Rich.
Winge and Cringe Set Piece FC.
Sorry, when what?
Winge and Cringe Set Piece FC.
Oh, look, I've had all that with you with OG this and whatever it is. We're 4 points clear. Yep. We're 4 points clear. This league is the maddest league I can remember. I mean, Burnley ain't scored 3 goals away from home all season. They scored 3 in 6 minutes. Leeds, what they done to you the other night after what we've done to them, you can't legislate. You can't legislate for this league, right? But what I can say is, this league is so bad, Arsenal have got to win it, otherwise we'll never win it. We will win it, end of, and we'll win something else to go with it.
I feel like you've thrown it away, though, mate. You could have been miles ahead.
Yeah, we should have been.
Just 2 wins in the last 6.
No, but can I just say that? You say that, but
no, it's true.
We should have only been miles clear. If you look at that little run that Man City had, you have a look at that little, and you couldn't have it on your mind. The same thing with Villa, right? That's how it's gone this league this year. We will win it. We've got the running to win it.
Sound a bit worried, Rich. You do. You're not as convincing. What? No, you're not as convincing as I thought you'd be, mate.
How convincing do you want?
It
just sounds like you're holding a little bit back.
Seems a bit of doubt in there.
Okay,
Rich, in my opinion.
Okay, here's what you say, Rich. Here's what you got to say, right? Well done, Arsenal. We are the best side in the country, champions for 2026. I want to hear you say that.
Well done, Arsenal. We're by far the best team of 2026. Yeah. We will win the league.
No, so we won it.
Yeah, we've won it. And then anybody that says different, pull it up. I'll have it with you. How much do you want?
I'm fearing you're right, mate. I'm fearing you're right.
I don't know. Not convinced, mate. I'm not convinced.
Okay, here's a question, Jay. Are we calling back at the end of May, getting back on and
100%. Yeah, we're having this convo. Yeah.
And they're going to finish what? Where are they going to finish?
Second. Rich, thanks for your call. Keep them coming in. Loads to go at. Arsenal fans, you convinced? You've got to talk about Eds as well. I haven't even asked the question to Arsenal fans yet. Been a bit of a myth this season. 03 717 22 3344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport with TalkSport Bet. Download the new TalkSport Bet app today. 18 plus. We gamble it all.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders. Bring it on at TalkSportBet.com. The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit TalkSportBet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On your marks, get set, go hybrid. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. More oomph than a Friday feeling. And smoother than your last online date. More confidence, more go. In a new hybrid engine with 0% APR representative over 24 months. The new Toyota Aygo Cross Hybrid. Go on. Visit your local Toyota centre. Price from £21,595. Available on Toyota PCP when financed through Toyota Financial Services by 31st March 2026. Optional final payment indemnities may be required. See website, conditions apply.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month, right through February. Get 12.5mm moisture-resistant plasterboard for only £16.26 per sheet. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals through February with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Hello, Mike's Mechanics. How can we help?
Can you tell me what's wrong with my car? It's making a grrr
noise.
Right, and is that when you brake or accelerate?
So when I brake, it's more of a... and when I accelerate, it's more of a... If you get me?
Right.
Customers can be hard work. Switching your bank account won't be. We'll automatically move your regular payments over when you switch with the current account switch service.
At Specsavers, we've got hearing devices that can stream music or movies. And ones that are good in crowds. Rechargeable battery ones. Ones that are good at home, ones that are good in the great outdoors, ones that connect to phones, ones that fit in your ear, ones that fit over your ear, and ones that fit in wherever you happen to be. We've even got ones in our advanced range that use AI to make speech sound clearer. And they're all available at great Specsavers prices. Book a free hearing check today.
Dearest listeners, rumour has it that Sky and Netflix are waltzing side by side. So society may delight in the romance of season 4 of Bridgerton on Netflix, then discover long-buried secrets in Under Salt Marsh on Sky. Get Sky and Netflix together for the handsome price of £15 a month. Sky. Believe in better.
Prices may change during new 24-month term. £21 a month after. Requires Sky Stream and broadband minimum speed 25 megabits per second. 18+ terms apply.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at SpreadX Sports you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting, including £30 in free bets when you join and place a qualifying £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. SpreadX Sports. It's in our DNA. 18+